We're out here to preach the downfall of this evil, wicked kingdom. First, we want to start off by turning to the east, giving all praises to our power.
Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash.
All right, Shalom. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that told us this doctrine in truth and sincerity. Shalom to the elect. So we're out here to prophesy the downfall of this evil, wicked queendom known as America, known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures. Okay, so we have a lot of prophecy happening right now. Prophecy means what? To say before. Okay, or it means to forecast the actual future. And what we have is signs of famine, pestilence, evils, and these are all signs that Yahweh Shai told the disciples in Matthew 24 that would be happening in the latter days. And we're in the latter days, we're in the last seconds of Esau, Edom's queendom being put down. Esau means wasted away is, and they are what the biblical Edomites. This is the self-proclaimed white man, okay, of this world. And he's the one that's in control of all the things that you see that are going on, all the destruction, okay, all the famine, all the tears, all the cries, okay, all the pain that Esau, Edom has, inflicted on, especially our people, starting with Hebrew Israelites, okay, you so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans, or of the speckled bird looking like the other nations, you're actually the Hebrew Israelites, okay? They have hid that from us, as far as, painting their images of themselves, saying that they are what the true people of the Bible, but they really are what the synagogue of Satan. Okay, they paint what their white images, their pale-faced images, when actually Yahweh Shai is actually a dark-skinned man, would actually be a so-called black man of this world. Okay, so we're out here to come back to bid the elect back to the marriage, and the Lord's gonna draw them out by coming back to your heritage. First off, it's starting off by the name Yahweh, which means He is or He exists. That's the Heavenly Father's name. Okay, Bahashim in the name, okay, of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Okay, with the will enemy calls Jesus Christ. We know His name to be Yahweh Shai, which means He is the deliverer, He is the Savior for the Hebrew Israelites from the pedigree of your father. Okay, this goes back to your father, the lineage, right? Bahashim in the name of the Ruach HaKodesh, which means the Holy Spirit, that's able to give us this breath of life, to be able to give us the understanding of who we are, and be able to come back to the heritage, come back to our law, statutes, commandments, and rehearse the righteous acts.
Got a precept for you. This is Job 9:24. You were mentioning, and it reads, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is He?"
Exactly. So who put forth this white, pale-faced, homosexual, feminine man's image? Okay, this goes back to Serapis Christi. Okay, Serapis Christi, which goes back to Caesar Borgia. Okay, which goes back to Jesus Christ that you see today. And a lot of our people are still in chains and shackles in these churches, in these Christian churches, and these Roman Catholicism churches, wearing wearing crosses, wearing unks. Okay, they're stuck in these idol worship. Okay, when we see what else is about to happen. The true idol worship is the charagma, which is a graven image in your forehead or in your hand that they're trying to implement for you to worship that idol, for you to be part of that beast system. Okay.
And these Slaki, if I may, these people worshiping Cesare Borgia, man, that's literally attracting demons unto them, man. That's why they so bugged out, man. That's why, when people, I made a lesson earlier where it talks about, you remember back in the day, Candyman, right? You say his name three times in the mirror. What did he do? He came up behind you. Bloody Mary, same thing. You call upon Caesar Borgia, hey man, you attracting demons. But you call upon Yahweh Shai, man, that's the only righteous name that you can really call on, man.
Because that was a real reason why we got sent into captivity. Because Luke 4:7 speaks about we were worshiping devils. Okay, which this is the number one devil. This is Esau, Edom in the flesh. Okay, Slaki, this is the wicked in the flesh, Esau, Edom, which is the self-proclaimed white man. Okay, there's no such thing as white or black. That's a false social construct that Esau, Edom has put out there for our people. Okay, because white actually means pure and black means void of light. And we're actually we're actually the saints of the Bible. Okay, but again, we've been broken down, through slavery, through Stockholm Syndrome, through the hip-hop industry, through the iconoclasm, through the movies. Okay, every time they depict a so-called black man or so-called Latino or so-called Native American, it's always in a horrible light. It's always in a dark light. Okay, and then what do they paint themselves as? The heroes. They paint themselves as the X-Men, the Captain America. Okay. Which America means bitter, and we're in a bitter, confused state because we have Esau, Edom in control. Okay, he's the one that the earth is given to the hands of the wicked, right? It says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And people are mourning right now. Why? Because they're cutting off the food supply. Okay, they're cutting off the water. Okay, they're cutting off your as far as any kind of work, because they're going to start having these lockdowns through their pestilence. You have the monkey business out there. Okay, you have the Beetlejuice coming back. Okay, and they want those people to take those jump shots so they can be able to turn on the 5G, the 6G, so they can have people walking around like zombies, walking around lost, like you see the people out here. They're lost, trying to very proud spirit. Okay, and they want to mock. They're mocking the scoffers, or mocking the prophets, right?
This is Proverbs 29:2, and it reads, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn."
Yep. And why are people mourning? Because this devil is taking peace from the earth. Okay, and that's what he was created to do. When it speaks about in Genesis 27:39, that Isaac, which is Yahushua, if he received it, gave Esau that great sword. He gave him the fatness of the earth. When you go into the word fatness, it goes into the oil. It goes into all the resources, all the money to be able to lie and deceive people and pay people off. And then that great sword comes with their military force. Okay, comes with their food. They weaponize the food with genetically modified organism foods.
The pharmaceutical industry as well.
Yep.
And the whole the logo for the pharmaceutical industry goes back to Caduceus, man.
Yep.
And it's two serpents swimming around a sword, and that's also the logo for the World Health Organization.
And that goes back to Adam Visa. Adam Visa, he's the one that started the Freemasons, okay, which was funded by the Rothschilds, which are the Edomites, okay. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Oppenheimers, the DuPonts, the Warburgs. These are the ones that are waging war on the people to bring in the Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is also on the back of your dollar bill, which is a New World Order. Also your El Pluribus Unum, which means one of many. Okay, one of many, which means one world military, a one world government, a one world religion. And what do they want you to worship? They want you to worship the okay? Which is the Caragua, right? The Caragua. The Caragua, which is a graven image in your forehead or in your hand. Something that's physical that we're seeing on display with the Biden bucks.
Yeah, you can't close, like the elder Ashwamba said, Kemp, and other elders have said plenty of times. You can't just close the book and say it's philosophies, it's a way of life anymore, man. The vision is starting to speak, and it's starting to speak loud and clear through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, that it's what we teach today, starting with our elders and apostles, man.
Beautiful. That was taught from Great Millstone over 20 years ago.
And
before they were on YouTube.
You other guys are running around this prophecy right here, which is a major prophecy. Slack it. You're gonna have to give answers for this shit. You're gonna have to give answers for this right here, man. For what you're teaching, man. And you're gonna have to realize that Great Millstone had it right. You're gonna have to confess that Great Millstone had it right, man.
Yeah, because what did Biden, he passed in March 9th of this year. He passed the Executive Order 14067, which is all digital currency will be put in place over the paper dollar. Okay, and that's going to be I think December 13th.
And other countries like I think Zimbabwe are working on CBDC. You got Honduras, El Salvador. Basically all the countries are on board, man.
Yep,
95% of the central banks are on board with it, man.
Because you have China. China, they already been doing it. They have a social credit system. Now it's just implementing the actual physical device that they want to put under your skin.
Yep.
That's why they're beefing over there in Taiwan, because Taiwan is the #1 place that has the devices, the semiconductors. Okay, that's what goes into. That's why Pelosi was over there, because she funds a lot of the AI, a lot of the Google technology. Okay, good. Yeah, a lot of the Google technology, as far as the AI to be able to surveil you. When you talk to Siri, okay, all that technology is ran by these semiconductors, okay, which is that device that goes under your skin that they want to put into you, because they want to make you linked into their smart cities, okay. And China is already leading the way, because that's why Pedo Joe, he even said that we want to catch up to China.
Well, the Internet of Things is the tracking system, and the Internet of Bodies, that's your punk ass who takes the shit, man.
God, beautiful.
Yep.
And those that don't have the understanding of here is the wisdom.
That's why it's called the Internet of Bodies.
Yep.
Because they want to have it in your body, man.
Yep. And you have 7,000 men that are not going to bow down to the image of Baal. Okay.
I'll get that.
And that goes into 144,000 in the Commonwealth believers that are not going to stand for what Esau Edom and what he's doing, what he's pushing. Okay, because everything he pushes is wickedness. Okay, because as the brother read, they are the wicked. Okay, there's one to honor, Romans 9. Okay, one to honor, which is the tabernacle of David, which is the righteous, which is the Jacob. Okay, Jacob had 12 sons, Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, and we're coming back to the breath of life, coming back and standing on our feet with that exceedingly great army. And Esau, Edom is afraid. Okay, that's why he'll come out with things like what, misinformation, disinformation. That's why he has the DHS bulletin board saying that they're going to come after faith-based people. That's why
72 bullet points that they have in there that they're afraid of, man.
Beautiful.
Anybody that's speaking about end time prophecy, you know, if you're condemning the NWO, you know, if you're condemning the World Health Organization, if you're condemning government, you know, that's on their bullet point of list of people to look out for, man, and to eventually come after, man. And come on, what are you waiting for, man?
And on that list, like 72 of those we're all against. You know,
all of them.
All of them. They're all, you know, because all those things are centered around coming after the prophets.
Also, number 36 and number 37. Now my memory's kicking in a little bit. It goes into people who have made websites to push quote unquote conspiracy theories, to push controversy. And what are we on right now? YouTube, with the YouTube page set up, man.
Yep.
And that's them sneak dissing the prophets, man. You know. This is 1 Kings 19:18, because you mentioned it, brother.
Yep.
This reads, "Yet I mentioned 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him."
Beautiful. Because right now it's 7,000 is what, a complete number. Okay, so now you're having what, the 144,000 that are not going to bow down to this beast system. And what's the beast system? Okay, you have you have America, which is Babylon, which Babylon means confusion, America means bitter. Okay, and they're joined unto what, NATO. It started with 10. Okay. It started with you know, we got to do all works, right?
Yeah.
So started with 10. Okay, now it's up to what, about 30 countries, and they have consulted together to bring in again this device. Okay, waging war on the people, taking away their sovereignty, which means your rights.
Yep.
Okay, and then if you don't comply, they're calling you what, a health risk. And they have these camps set up, these internment camps that are set up that have what, these National Guard members, okay, these United Nations troops, and they're already at the border. They already been seen at the border coming over because that's why they want
They already got the vehicle set up.
Yep.
They already got UN trucks that have been spotted in Canada. They got UN planes,
Yep.
UN tanks. You know, they got everything set up. Also, they have hundreds of thousands of smart guillotines set up. Why do you think they have them set up? Why do you think the IRS bought a whole bunch of bulletproof armor and what are those certain type of rounds that are armor-piercing rounds?
Yeah.
Hollow point bullets and whatnot, man. You know, why do you think the Department of Homeland Security has 2 billion bullets, man?
Yep. And also FEMA did too.
Yep.
FEMA bought $1 billion and the IRS bought what, $1 million.
And FEMA is part of the Department of Homeland
Yep.
Security. You know?
Yeah, they're all what, the alphabet boys, and they're all consulting together what to ultimately to try to bring in their new world order. That's why they're going to hire over 80,000 IRS people. Okay, because they want to weaponize them because they know that when people bought those, they got those PPP loans and things like that. Our people bought guns. They geared up on weapons. Okay, and they're coming back for that money because there's two things when they bought these IRS agents. Okay, there were, one brother brought out that the PPP loans. Okay, which that makes sense because that was all a setup. That was all a scam for you to be in debt. But also you have the debt clock. When you look at the debt clock, it says that each person owes, now it's up to 93,000 last time I checked, last week. Okay, 93,000, they're coming back for that debt. Because again, the birth certificate, it says what? That you are what, a business. This is a corporation. America is a corporation. Okay, that's why it's in all capital letters, and they're coming back because when you get knocked off, okay, they get that money. Okay, no matter what. Especially if you also have what, these insurance policies and things like that. Okay, they're coming to collect, right?
I got a couple precepts.
And they gotta real quick. They gotta they're gearing up. They're having a siege. Okay, that's one more thing. Is these sleeper cells.
Yeah.
Okay, they have these sleeper cells from what, UK, Afghanistan, all these people when they went over to their countries and ripped them out of their houses, rape, rob, and murder, and took these people. Now they're UN troops, and now they're over here and they hate Americans. Okay, why? Because of their pride, because of Esau's pride. Okay, and they think that everybody is the same way, and they're coming over here. They're not speaking no English. Okay, and they're not going to have no mercy. Right?
This is Revelation 13:11, and it reads, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Yep. So those the two horns symbolize what the Democrat and the Republican. Okay, that goes back to what the plebeian and patrician. Okay, which goes back to Rome, which is this is Rome 2.0. This is nothing but an extension of Rome. Okay, when you look at what the House and the Senate, and then they got a president. Okay, that's all the same things go back to Rome. Rome. They have what the legislations and the amendments, which is the same thing that goes back to Rome. Even with their fierce army, okay, they got their fierce army in everybody's business.
Just like they had in Rome,
Yeah,
as
and
far
that's-
as they had ancient Rome, they had all their troops spread out.
Which is ultimately how they're going to be able to be infiltrated.
Yep.
Okay, which is ultimately what they want. Okay, but they think that they're going to be able to have what a continuing city. They're going to have their great reset.
History repeats itself.
Yep. Yeah, Ecclesiastes 1:9. They think that they're going to Psalms 49:11. They think their inward thought that they shall continue. Okay, they think
I'm
they're
in
going to have.
Psalms. I'll just get that for you real quick.
Okay,
This is
beautiful.
Psalms. 'Cause I was gonna get 59. This is
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Yep.
59 is perfect.
I was gonna get Wisdom of Solomon. I'll just.
Yeah, I
read them
told
out.
you to get on fire.
This is Psalms 49:11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever." That word house is bayat, and that's what their inward thought is that their houses, their kingdom is going to continue forever. That's why they have Space Force set up. That's why they're trying to push pseudo salvation and pseudo immortality on a device, and you putting your essence on the internet of bodies and having your loved ones talk to you even after you die. That's virtual immortality. But that immortality and that blessing of immortality is only to Yasha Allah, the sons of the power, man. The princes of the power, the sons of the Most High, man. His people, man. Starting with the prophets. This is
And real quick, going back to Revelation 13:11, when he speaks like a lamb, that's his salvation. His salvation is what that device. So, again, your brother brought out what the pseudoscience.
that goes into him pushing those pseudo miracles.
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
Yep.
He's saying that lawyers can go through case files in a fraction of the time. He's also saying that you can get your sight back, you can get your hearing back, you can get your ability to walk back if you're a paraplegic. You cannot starve to death. I got universal basic income. If you don't have the means to survive, just put this in your body.
Yep.
Also all sorts of health benefits you can have.
Yep.
He's gonna make it seem like it's the best thing since sliced bread.
You can speak all different languages.
Yeah.
We'll just put this in. We'll download it on you, just like a computer.
Yep.
Because they want you to be as we said, the internet of bodies, and to be draconian. Why do they have to be draconian? Because they know a lot of people ain't gonna fall for that shit. Because if you look at TikTok, you look at Instagram, you
People
look
are
at
giving warning.
the alternative networks that had apostles like Ray Wilson, the men on down, that are pushing forth this true doctrine. Okay, this devil Esau Edom's being made bare. He's being exposed. That man of sin is being revealed. Okay, for what is pseudoscience, which when you go into the word pseudos, it goes into a broad sense, not what it seems to be. Right?
This is Psalms 49:11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and that their dwelling places and their dwelling places to all generations, they call their lands after their own names." Going into America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. Africa is named after Leo Scipio Africanus. You have Manchester in the United States. Up there in New England, you have Manchester, England. You have Birmingham in Alabama. You have Birmingham. That's a major city outside of London, man.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Yep.
Okay, all these different things are named.
Washington State,
Washington.
named after George Washington.
Yep. Then you got Washington D.C.
Yep.
So and again, that's another a sign to show you who's actually in power. And another thing is who's on the money, because that's how you really know who's in power, who's on the money. Okay, and who's going to be controlling now that they're taking away the money?
Who can't you talk against? Why do you have all these nations come together in 1948 to build a state of Israel? That's not according to prophecy, man. The Lord comes back, Isaiah 14, man. And then after the Lord comes back, he sets the nation of Israel, he sets the kingdom of Israel up, starting with their 144,000 in David, man. And if you read the next verse, people go into slavery, man. And also, if you go into Isaiah, the second chapter, the law is instituted. You're not pushing forth the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You're pushing kosher pork, humping walls, biting baby rods, having gay parades in the Holy Land, and people can't speak out against you, man. And the story doesn't add up, Jack. Just like the people who are pushing the MOTB is spiritual. you're gonna have to give answer for that because it doesn't add up, Jack. You know.
And
This
their
is
inward, real quick, their inward thought is what? The Great Reset. Okay, Build Back Better. What do we have? Make America Great. Those
Yep.
are all them trying to forward their agenda. Real quick, I just want to get a scripture. This is Psalms.
33:10.
Oh yeah, well, I can do that one. I was gonna get Isaiah because their pride.
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
pride has reached to the heavens, and now the Lord's about to put them down.
Their sins have reached to the heavens
Yep,
as well.
yep. Revelation
You know?
18 and 6. Let me get this. This is Isaiah 13 and 11. I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. Okay? I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Okay, so what's the haughtiness? Their pride.
Yep.
Okay, again, speaking against the Most High, they shout what? They're speaking abominations. Okay, to what? The Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay?
They blaspheme his name, his tabernacle.
Yep.
You know, those that dwell in heaven. He has a God complex right now, saying that I am, and none else beside me, man. But the scriptures say otherwise, man. This is Bel and the Dragon. Bel and the Dragon's only one chapter. This is Bel and the Dragon 1 and 21. Yep. The 1 and 26. Now I'm gonna get
Yeah,
Psalm
that
59.
whole chapter.
Yeah.
Is fire.
This
I was
is
reading that yesterday.
Bel and the Dragon, the first chapter, the only chapter, and the 26th verse. And it reads, I'm gonna get 25 as well. I'm gonna get 24, man. This is it's like one of my favorite chapters, man. Because it goes into, you know, how Bel was confounded, which is an idol, which was worshipped by the Babylonians, and the dragon. You know, and if you want to compare that parabolically, that's Esau, Edom being confounded, you know, the dragon, and his idolatry. You know, and it's going to be confounded by the word, by the prophets. I'll just get right to the point. Bel and the dragon.
Which is, real quick, which is the same, exactly like the brother said, it's the same thing they're trying to do with this.
Yep.
The same thing they tried to do with Nebuchadnezzar, when they had, the golden calf?
Nebuchadnezzar.
Or Nebuchadnezzar?
Yep.
That's water.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, so the same thing. They want you to worship that. And what did you have, Nebuchadnezzar, when you had, the three holy children?
Yep.
Okay?
And they were saved by Yahweh Shai.
Yep.
You
They
know?
were in the furnace with Yahweh Shai, right? And that's the same thing that he's going to be with his elect.
Daniel
He's
the
gonna
third
be-
chapter, Daniel 3 and 25. Yep. And it's Yahweh Shai that's coming back to save the elect, you know? And not all Israel is going to be delivered, only a remnant. And that's why, you know, I shared that lesson from the, you know, Elder Bishop Tazawam out of Atlanta, man, and that was a very powerful lesson.
Attention waiters and boogie boarders off Mission Beach. Lifeguards will be going out of service here shortly. It's highly recommended that you exit the water at this time and end your water activity for the day. We do have very dangerous conditions in the area. We've had multiple rescues all day. If you're not a strong ocean swimmer, it's highly recommended you do not go out past your waist.
That was a powerful message that was put up by the, you know, Elder Bishop yesterday, or the Bishop, you know, Tazawam out of Atlanta. You know, you should be privileged to be a part of this thing, just to be able to come out here and labor. You know, it's a high privilege, man, because not everybody's given this understanding. We're given the mysteries from on high and the understanding of what's going to happen in this man's kingdom. That's comforting, especially in these times that we're living in, where you're going to see all sorts of bugged out shit and people bug out. You know, this truth is very precious, man. The most precious thing you can have. This is Slakin, Bel and the Dragon, 1 and 26, and it reads, "Give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without sword or staff." The king said, "I give thee leave." Then Daniel took pitch and fat and hair and did seed them together and made lumps thereof, made cakes. And he put it in the dragon's mouth, and so the dragon burst asunder. And Daniel said, "Lo, these are the gods ye worship." And if you read the GNT, it reads, "These are the gods ye Babylonians worship." You know? Idolatry, man. And all idolatry is going to be put down. All power, rule, and authority is going to be put down when Yahweh Shai returns, man. This is a song.
Where are we at? We're in what? Modern day Babylon.
Yep.
Okay? The virgin daughter of Babylon.
Which
right?
is being ruled by the beast, you know? The horde that sitteth upon the dragon, man. You know? The horde that sitteth upon the beast, man. You know? The beast system. And that beast system is going to be confounded, you know? By the prophets. And who was Daniel? Daniel was a prophet. This is Psalms 59 and let me see, it might be 58. Psalms 58 and 6, and it reads, "Break their teeth, O Yahweh Shai Shai, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh Shai Shai. Let them melt as waters which run continually. when he bendeth his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces. That's what's going to happen to Babylon the Great. It's going to be confounded by the ICBM missiles, by his own creation, man. You know, Esau, Edom, Joshua, wasted away his heat.
It says, what was that, Isaiah 50, what was that, Psalm 59?
Psalms 58. I was going to get 59, but
Okay.
Psalms 58, you know.
And the
That's what I
Lord's,
was looking for.
Good. I'll get that. Psalms, because we're praying what to be able to get delivered out of what Esau, Edom's hand, which is our enemy, which is our oppressor. Let's get that. Psalms 59 and 1. Deliver me from my enemies, O my power, Yahweh. Defend me from them that rise against me. So that was the same thing Daniel was calling on. He was calling on what? Yahweh Shemir Shai. Okay, to be able to deliver him. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was calling on Yahweh Shemir Shai. Okay, anytime that our forefathers were in trouble, they were calling on Yahweh Shemir Shai. They were calling on the true name. They weren't calling on Jesus, Yahshua,
Yep.
Yahshua, all these different false names. Okay?
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was their slave names, you know, that Nebuchadnezzar gave them. Their real names were Hananiah, Ananiah, and Mishael.
Their government names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's the same thing Esau does
That's
now.
what we have now.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, slave names, you know, as far as our last names, you know, and our first names too, because that's not Hebrew, you know. That's not in our traditional language, you know. That's our government name, man, you know.
This is Psalms 59 and 2. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from the bloody man. Okay, and this is the most bloody man that you're ever going to see, because Yahweh Shemir Shai created them to be like that, created them to dishonor. Okay, created them to be that straight savage, so we can be able to see what being wicked is all about. So we can be able to come back to righteousness, to be able to see what a wicked ruler actually is, to be able to spiritually discern situations. Okay?
That's what we're going to need, that to be able to judge in the kingdom too, knowing right from wrong.
Yeah, knowledge of good and evil, you know.
Yep.
That's perfect knowledge, you know. Knowledge of good and evil. That's what we had to go through, you know, this captivity. That's what we had to see, the wicked in rulership. You know, it was written in the story that Adam was supposed to eat the wicked philosophies given to him by Eve and eat from the knowledge of the tree of good and evil. You know, so we would learn how to not rule. I mean, as far as we would learn how rulership is not supposed to be ran. Let me say it better. You know.
Yep, and this is a wicked rulership. Okay, there's nothing but what man on man, woman on woman transformers. Okay, you have what poison in the food. Okay, what you have barium, aluminum in the air. Okay, you have what? First of all, Esau, Edom, and bullshit. You have these heathen nations that are hissing and wagging at our people. Okay, our people in our low estate, walking around with their pants hanging off their ass. Okay, you know, wearing purses. Okay, this is
our
the
women
sickness.
hoard out.
Yeah,
know,
women are hoard out. You know
got
what I mean?
Jake in the hood. His only 3 ambitions is to be a rapper, a pimp, or a drug dealer.
Yep.
You know, that's his only 3 ambitions. You know, for the most part. Or you know, you got some who are more creative. They want to run a taco truck or whether they want to run a chicken shack.
Yep.
You know, but that's not real. That's not real rulership, man. You know, we want to be able to rule everything and run everything, and that's what we're going to be able to do when our kingdom's set up, man.
First of all, to just have peace. Okay, to be able to, when you sleep, you don't have demons running around. You know what I mean, around you. Okay, constant. When you're sleeping
You can let your children go out there and play in the water, and you're not gonna have to worry about them getting bit by a shark or getting snatched up by an Edomite, man.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
You know?
Yeah, you're not gonna have to worry about Pedo Joe caressing on somebody, or Pizzagate, or frazzle dripping, all these different wicked things that these devils doing, which they're being exposed for. Okay, this is.
And that's what that one bitch, the actor, she was making she was making a movie allegedly, you know, about exposing these guys, and she popped up dead, and she was actually trying to get up out of the body bag, and they caught that on film, you know, her actually trying to get up out of the body bag, you know.
And that's beautiful. That's your power, because that's Esau Edom being exposed for him trying to knock off people. Okay, for whenever they just like the one dude, the actor, he had shot the lady, shot someone over there in a western. It was supposed to be in a movie. But also that lady that got shot, this was like a couple months ago, I forgot his name, but he had shot.
John Travolta or something like that? Was it
John
Travolta?
No, it wasn't John.
One of them actors.
It was one of
Yeah.
the. He's
But
always in
also,
the 90s movies.
also, Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee.
Yep.
Yep.
Same thing happened to him. You know, he was shot by a live round, you know, in Hollywood, man.
Yep. And that lady that got shot back then, okay, she was actually going to be exposing what
Anne
Harvey
Hesh.
Weinstein.
Anne Hesh.
Was it Anne?
I think it was. think it was Ann Hesh. You want to look it up, brother? You got the phone?
Yeah, so
I want to say it was Ann Hesh.
So she
I
was
might have
gonna-
it wrong,
She
though.
was going to expose what Harvey Weinstein,
Yep.
okay, which is part of the pedophilia. Because
Epstein
again,
Island.
Yeah, Epstein Island, and that's the same thing that person was doing right there. Okay, it was the same thing.
And the other nigga that was going to expose him popped up dead as well.
Yeah, right there, Tawada, your brother. Yeah, it's Shadow Thy Wing, Shalom, brother.
Yep, Alex Baldwin. Yeah, the water brother.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Ann Hesh?
I knew what it was.
No, Ann Hesh is the one who came up out of the body.
Yeah,
bag. Yeah, that's her.
Cool.
Okay.
I just want to
Yeah,
make sure.
so those are the same things that Esau Edom's being exposed for. You know,
Yep.
knocking on people, silencing people, and they always they do it with an enchantment. Because also another thing on the ambulance that I was looking at, it had the 6 and the 3. Okay, so we know we go back to
And
what,
the other one was
6
66.
Oh, was
It
it?
was
Okay,
66
you saw that too.
and 63.
Yep, Chi Psi Sigma, which goes back to here's the wisdom, you know, of what the beast of this devil.
And also, the fire department aren't supposed to be touching people like that. It's supposed to be the paramedics,
Exactly.
the EMTs.
Yep.
You know,
This is
that also shows you it was bullshit. You know,
This is Psalms 141 and 9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst thou whether I escape. Okay, because the Lord's going to lift up a standard for his elect. Okay, because what you're seeing is a lot of traps and snares. Okay, with that far as that the Trump thing. Okay, then you had the Ohio shooting.
okay, you got a precept, bro?
No, go ahead, finish it.
Okay, yeah, you had the Ohio shooting, as far as in the feds, okay, and then you had so that's all and then the January 6th thing, okay, that Trump thing is to take away free speech, okay, to attack your First Amendment right, which ultimately they're going to start coming for the people that are talking what they say that it's extremist, but we're just coming straight off the scriptures. This is not a private interpretation. Okay, then they had the feds saying that they got
Also,
attacked.
the Alex Jones thing. That's the setup. That's the setup.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you know, coming after the prophets. Because what are they also saying about Alex Jones? They're saying that he needs to be thrown in jail. His whole standpoint as far as a adverse opinion to what's being put out as correct information needs to be taken off the internet. You know, and that's all a ploy. You know, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. We're not ignorant of Esau, Edom's devices, the so-called white man's devices. You know, his wickedness. You know, that's all a ploy to come after the prophets, man. If you have visions, you know, if you're able to understand the end game, the long game. You know what I'm saying?
Because their whole thing is that perpetual hatred
Yep.
for Israel, okay? And starting with the prophets, starting with that remnant, starting with the elect, because this wisdom it brings down, it puts that dreadful sound in their ear, okay? It takes their tabernacle, or it takes that light out of their tabernacle of the rulership. That's why it speaks about that. What is that? Revelation 11 and 11, okay? Where it speaks about they heard that speech and they were afraid.
I got something for you. This is 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, and it reads, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and bringing into captivity every thought of the obedience of Hamashiach Yahushai."
Yep. Yeah, our weapons of warfare are not cardinal. Okay, we're not supposed to gear up arms and start, hey, we're gonna get an AK, we're gonna get our sticks, and then we're gonna go hold camp. Okay, because now what you're seeing is those people that are holding sticks, that's when Esau is gonna come in like a flood on you. Okay, oh yeah, these guys are the extremists. Look at what they're talking about. They're against man on man, woman on woman. They're against transformers. So you're speaking part of the scriptures, okay, but then you're coming with that. So that's a worldly doctrine. Okay,
You're out there presenting yourself like you're really about that life. Well, you're going to be put to the test.
Yep, and the Lord's not going to protect you. That's the point. Because if you're not coming with the true doctrine, the Lord's not going to protect you. Real quick, Second Ezra is, so and pulling down strongholds. Okay, pulling down strongholds is showing the real depiction of our Lord, which is actually a so-called black man, knocking down that Caesar Borgia, feminine, long hair, stringy, homosexual man. Okay, that's not how our Lord looks. Okay, another stronghold is that we are the saints of the Bible. We are the true Hebrew Israelites.
What it's doing is sweeping away the refuge of lies. Real quick precept, brother. This is Isaiah 28 and 17, and it reads, "Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place." These rivers of living water are sweeping away the refuge of lies, man, and also overflowing the hiding place of Esau Edom. He can't hide himself no more. Yep. You got something, brother? Bring it out, bro.
This is back you up from our weapons of warfare and our carnal. This is John 18 and 36.
We got you, brother. You right there.
What's that?
We got you out here.
Oh.
Let's scoot back a little bit, bro.
This is John 18 and 36. Yahweh shall answer, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight? See, so our weapons of warfare are not carnal. Our weapons are these scriptures. Okay, the words of the Lord, you know?
Also, the Lord said, everyone that shall take up the sword shall perish with the sword. When, Peter cut off the man's ear. And also, what happened when that happened? Yahweh Shai healed that man's ear.
And it speaks about that in Matthew 10, where it says, bring those staves.
Yep,
Which
weapons.
when you go into it, it goes into iron, and it says like to beat somebody.
Yeah.
That would be the modern day gun of today. Okay, real quick, this is
We're going to get those rods of iron in the kingdom, man. You know, real rods of iron. And we're going to have authority and dominion and rulership and sovereignty in that day. You know, you're not going to have to worry about somebody arresting you, for beating your slave, man. For beating your property, man. These so-called white people, are going to be our property, man. As well as the so-called East Indian, the so-called Arab, all the nations that came against our people, man. And that's the gospel, man. Also their rulership and their hour that they're reigning the 1 hour that they're reigning with the beast is coming to an end. That's a part of the gospel, man. And we're sent out to the highways and byways to profess that, man. And tell Esau Edom his ways to his face. And tell our people to repent. So Lord's will, they can take part in the action, man. On the first go round without having to hit a nuke, without having to have a nuke hit him in the head,
Yeah, because when you go into Ezekiel 3 and 17, where it says warning, it goes into teach.
Yep.
Okay? To teach them, through the scriptures, not just with your own private interpretation, but teach them through the scriptures, the understanding that you have. Freely as you give, freely as you receive. Real quick, 2 Maccabees 15 and 21. Maccabees seeing the coming of this is in the Apocrypha, right? It says, Maccabees seeing the coming of the multitude and the diverse preparations of the armor and the fierceness of the beast. So aren't we seeing that? Don't we see them gearing up with the martial law? Don't we see them that they have legislation that are going to be coming after the prophets? Okay, don't we see them with their drones, with their super soldiers? Okay, don't we see them gearing up, furbishing that sword? It's
They got mechanical robotic dogs now with missiles on them.
Beautiful.
Not only with guns.
Yeah.
Attention on the beach
Straight
and in
grenades.
the water.
Yeah. Or not grenades, but
Lifeguards will be
Yeah.
going out of service in less than 15 minutes. It's highly recommended that you end your water activity for the day and exit the water at this time.
How many times are you gonna say that?
Yeah, and you don't have
Feel free to meet us back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. when lifeguards go back into service. If you do witness a water-related emergency, please dial 911 and ask for lifeguards. Lifeguards have a 24-hour response.
And that's going to be a
Just a
beautiful
friendly
thing.
reminder to please pick up all your trash at the end of the night. There is no glass or alcohol on the beach. Mission Beach lifeguards, hope you had a wonderful day and have a safe night.
And that's going to be the most beautiful thing in the kingdom is a woman being quiet.
Yep.
Okay? her
makes
voice is just like irritating.
That makes
You
a
know what
woman
I mean?
attractive when they're fucking.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like,
not
do this,
talking.
do that, and no one listens. That's the whole point. No one listens when a woman's speaking. Okay? But that's the but that's all this, that's what it is. It's the pick and roll. You have Esau, the so-called white man, and then with Eve, and they think that they're actually doing something, but in that day, they're going to wish that they had a man in the Lord.
This
Real
is
quick.
Sirach 25 and 25 to back you up on that point, and it reads, "Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad."
Yep. And again, yeah, because women are supposed to be at the house. Okay, at the house, taking care of the children, cleaning and cooking. There's nothing wrong with that.
Making
Okay?
a sandwich,
Yep. There's
holding down the household, man.
Having respect for your having respect for your men.
But that was employed by the Rockefeller family and the Rothschild family to bring women out of the house so they can tax the other house, so they can tax the other half of the household.
Yep.
Before the 1920s or so, before women's liberation and women's rights, women weren't working. But that was employed by the elite bankers to get the women out of the house so they can tax the other half of the household, man.
Yep. That Aunt
And
Mama spirit.
And it started
also-
with Jake.
Also, they can defile the children,
Yep.
with the public indoctrination system.
Yeah, with the school. That goes back to Adam Visop. That was
Yep.
which the Freemasons, when they came in, he wrote how they're going to be able to bring in their New World Order. Okay, which that was funded by the Rothschilds.
Done.
Which, like the brother said, to have the schooling system to be able to take you know, God out of the school system and be able to implement their own things that don't mean nothing to the scriptures.
And what are they doing in the school system?
I mean,
what are they doing in the school system now, Slocky brother?
yeah.
What are they doing? They're having drag queens come to class. They're having children, you know, dancing in front of drag queens. You know, they're bringing your children to the strip club.
Yeah, giving them fake money.
Giving them fake money. You know,
Yeah.
they're freaking them out, man. You know, the child can now call himself a 7-year-old turtle, a girl turtle or whatever in the classroom, and then when he comes home, you know, and you say anything about it, you're liable to be arrested for it now, man. You know, that's the type of wicked, backward society we live in. You want to get Isaiah 29:16, brother?
Because even when I was in school, I think about it. They had sex ed, and then so what if you're a kid and you're not even around that? So now you know about sex ed, and then they used to have a thing called DARE. What if you were a kid, you didn't even know about drugs? Now you know about all the drugs. You know what I mean? I just thought about, because we were talking about
And that enticed people to go and do drugs.
Do the drugs, yeah, because like maybe you didn't grow up in the
DARE, drug aware,
you know what I mean?
resistance education.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
But what does it do? It opens up the mind to the kids, because they might be involved, they might be around, they might have drug community, but they're not involved in drugs. But now it makes them curious, because that's what happens. The kids get very curious on what things are going on.
It plants that seed of curiosity in the child's mind, and then when he gets around it, when he's 14, 15, 16, now he's more susceptible to be a part of it, man.
Yeah.
You know, or even earlier, you know.
Yeah, because I want to see what these certain drugs do, or I want to, and then what we're talking about right now is what the KBCs. Okay, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about this devil, is he wants to infiltrate your mind to either deceive you or wants to kill you, and it all goes back to the same thing, which is death. Okay.
Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Beautiful. Yes. Turning upside down. That perverse spirit. Okay. Doing stuff that you're not supposed to do. Okay. Like eating.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Like eating unclean foods. Okay. Making pig's feet. You know, making pork a delicacy. Making shrimp a delicacy. Okay. Making lobster a delicacy. Oh yeah. Yeah, so all these things that are so-called delicacies, when these crab legs and things like that, those are all abominations. And the reason why they're abominations, these things that Yahweh Shema Shai put in place, they're not grievous, okay? Because what do they lead to? They lead to disease. They lead to Big Mama with her foot, you know what I mean? Has to get her foot cut off.
There's a family member of mine recently that just sent me her picture with her leg cut off, man.
Yep.
You know?
And all these things are what Esau Edom puts in place, and that was another thing that was part of that. Out there
eating, you know, barbecue ribs at the cookout. Too many rib tips, man.
Yep. Too many extras. You know, let me get the extras. You know, and all that grease, all that oil. Then you had the DuPonts where they had the pans, okay, that had the forever chemicals on it. Okay, this is Esau Edom's boy. Also with the five. Okay, so you have the internet in your house, right? You have the modem, and that's running, and that's pushing off radiation. Okay, and that leads to the frequencies that run off people's head when people be bugging out too. Okay, and they want to have that technology inside of you. See, this is the unjust man that we're speaking about, the wicked.
This is Psalm 7 and 9, and it reads, "Oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and reins." I'm going to read it again. Let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous power trieth the hearts and reins. My defense is of my power, which saveth the upright in heart. You know, and the scriptures say, blessed is the man in whom his spirit is no guile, man. You know, I'll just get it real quick.
Yeah, because we're supposed to be rehearsing the righteous act to the best of our ability. Okay, and let me finish this real quick, because we were talking about arms, right? Because there's victory in the word, like he said, standing upright, being righteous. Okay, that's what they're trying to knock down, is the holy conversation, okay, that we have amongst brothers. That's why they're trying to knock out the internet, okay, because they think that they can be able to stop this word, okay, with their sadly mistaken.
You can do nothing against the truth before the truth.
Beautiful. This is Second Maccabees, just to finish it out.
And when he does that, that means all the elect are sealed. You know,
and that's why Revelation 12 and 12, rejoice ye heavens, because this devil has come down to you having great wrath. Once we know that he rolls on us when this camera's cut and we're not able to come out, that's when the Lord, that's when our true faith. Okay, those that actually believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, believe in the report. So let's go back to this. And believing in the report is when you don't stack up arms, just to finish out that point, because I read like halfway through. 2 Maccabees 15 and 21, Maccabees, seeing the coming of the multitude of diverse places, it's like diverse preparations of armor and fierceness of the beast, stretched out his hands towards heaven and called upon Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's what we're supposed to do, is call out to Yahweh Shem Shai. Like the brother said that the bishop from Atlanta, that was a beautiful lesson. I saw that too, is just give thanks to what Yahweh Shem Shai, what he's doing for us. Okay, this wondrous wisdom. Okay, that worketh wonders, knowing the victory cometh not by the arms, okay, not by arms, not by carrying your AK-47 or carrying your AR-15, okay, carrying your pistol, your quetta, your axe, okay, that's not going to be your strength. It's in putting your trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. But even as he seemeth good to him, he giveth it such as were worthy. So again, we're praying that we're able to be worthy, counted worthy in the day that Yahweh Shai comes back. Okay, the day of judgment, the time of Jacob's trouble, which we're in right now, but it's going to turn up. Okay, it's going to turn up. It's going to turn up even more, because again, they're cutting off the food supply. They have these droughts, then they have these floods, they have the heart machine that they're pushing out. Okay, so we're going to need a spiritual divine inspiration.
This is Exodus 14 and 13. I'm going to get 14 as well. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not. And that's why those guys take up arms, because they're actually scared of Esau, man. They're actually scared of, his military force and all that, man. We're not scared one bit, man. This is Exodus 14 and 13. And Moses said unto the people, fear ye not, stand still, and see the salvation of Yahweh Shem Shai, which he will show you today. For the Egyptians whom ye seen today, ye shall see them again no more forever. And the Egyptians never came into power. After Pharaoh and his army were destroyed, you never heard about the Egyptians rising back to power, man. This is Exodus 14 and 14. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace.
The Lord, right there. The Lord shall fight for you. Okay, He's going to be the one that's bringing down the hammer. He's going to be the one that's giving you spiritual power. He's going to be the one that's giving you food and giving you water in adversity. He's going to be the one that leads you to the woods, away from these death zones, these cities that are going to be nothing but killing zones, right?
Psalms 44 and 5.
Yeah, I was going to get that too, bro.
Okay, that's the spirit.
That's the spirit. But I got Zephaniah. Go ahead, bro.
All right, Psalm 44 and 5. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Who's he referring to? He's talking about Yahweh Shem Shai.
Yep.
It says, through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me.
And what does Exodus 15 and 3 say? Yahweh Shem Shai is a man of war.
Yep.
You know, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Those that run into it are safe, man.
Safe.
Roughly paraphrasing, man.
And that strong tower, if you think about it, you have a vantage point over your enemies. When you have a watchtower, you climb up, your enemies can't get to you.
Yep.
You know, so you have an advantage. You have and that's one thing about the art of war. You want to get a point above your enemies. That way you can see them approaching. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Yahweh Shem Shai is that strong tower that's going to protect us.
I got a scripture for you right here. This is Psalms 27 and 1. I'm going to go down to 5.
Did you get 6 as well? That's the
yeah,
point.
Yeah, kind of. I did.
Yeah, so I'm going to go down to 5. That's point in 5. Psalms 27 and 1. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is my light and my salvation. Okay, the light is what the truth. Salvation is what Yahweh Shai. And whom shall I fear? And the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is the strength of my life. Whom shall I be afraid? Because Yahweh Shai gives life. Okay, and Esau gives death. Right? It says 2, when the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though a host that should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Okay, so in your mind, you're not going to fear because you're keeping the eye singular on Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, so none of these devils are going to be able to infiltrate you as far as with the super soldiers and all these things, because he's going to lift up that standard. War shall rise against me, and this I will be confident. Psalms 27 and 4. One thing I have desired of Yahweh Shem Shai, I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh Shem Shai all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Yahweh Shem Shai, to inquire in his temple. Okay, and what are we in? We're in the spiritual temple of Yahweh Shem Shai, praying that we're of the hopeful elect. Okay, 5. For in the time of trouble, so like a time of what? Jacob's trouble, a time of what? Our temptation, a time of what? Tribulation. For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion, and the secret of his tabernacle he shall hide me. He shall set me high upon a rock. Okay? Upon that tower, which is what? Yahawashi. It goes into Matthew 7 too.
That rock.
Yeah, that rock. In Matthew 7, you know, when that tempest comes in, okay, no man can be able to move you. Why? Because you're on that foundation. You're on Yahawashi, standing on Yahawashi. That's why you're not supposed to go outside of the scriptures. When you go outside the scriptures, that's when you're not protected. You're not in that secret place.
You don't have that hedge.
Yeah, that hedge.
This is
Psalms 18 and 1, and it reads, I will love thee, O Yahweh Shem Yahshai, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my power, my strength, in whom I will trust, my buckler and the horn of my salvation and my high tower.
Yep. And the name is a strong tower. Okay.
That's also reiterated in the book of Psalms, the first chapter. You know, he raised up a horn of salvation. That horn of salvation is our Lord Yahweh Shai. He has many titles, man. You know, the author, the finisher of our faith, the destroyer, you know, the deliverer, the redeemer, you know, the
destroyer,
the firstborn of many brethren.
Destroy our enemies.
You know, the firstborn of many brethren, the first spirit created. You know.
This is 2 Ezra 16 and 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. It's just to kind of back you up with what you're saying. You know, we're not to fear man. You know what I'm saying? We're to fear Yahweh Shem Shai, but we got to know that at the end of the day, man, Yahweh Shem Shai has got us covered, man. He's the one guiding us through all the trials and tribulations that we're currently going through, and the ones that are going to become happening during the time of Jacob's trouble.
Yep, which is what that straight gate, Matthew 7 and 14, because narrow is the way. Okay, that straight path is what a position of difficulty when you have what 2 Ezra 7 speaks about, where you have a deep water on one side and you have a fire on the other, and in that middle you're walking down that path and there's thorns, there's crackheads, there's zombies. You know what I mean? There's all these. There's women. Okay, there's all these traps and snares that Esau Edom has, but the Lord is going to lift you up to be able to go through that path that, like the brother brought out, that guide, right?
This is Sirach 2 and 11, and it reads, For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hearts. Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, those who are slothful. And the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he be not defended. Woe to you that have lost patience, what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you?
Yeah, what are you gonna do when Esau Edom is coming in with his tanks? Okay, you have people running around with all these, their tactical gear. These Edomites that have been waiting to kill you.
Night vision.
Yeah, night vision. Oh yeah, so operation.
Mechanical robotic dogs with little mini missiles to blow up your apartment.
Yep.
You know, mechanical robotic dogs with AK-47s, 100 of them, man.
Yep.
And then they got the tank 1,000 yards away to do the cleanup after all those robots go through, man.
Yep.
What is your pea shooter gonna do in that day, man? Even if you got 10 guns, that's not enough to take on all that, man. You know.
Because what do they have? They have drones. They could just fly a drone over microwave your head.
This man's perfected the sword, man.
He is the
sword. The sword is his blessing.
Yep. He's known as what the Syrian, the rod of my anger.
Our blessing is the oil, man. You know, the scriptures, the understanding. You know.
This is Psalms 144 and 1. Blessed be Yahweh Shem Shai, my strength would teach my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Okay, my goodness and my fortress, my high tower, my deliverer, my shield, whom I will trust, who subdueth my people under me. Okay, again, going back to that tower, right? And what is he protecting us from? What? Our enemies. That goes also with 2/3 of our people are enemies. A man's foe shall be of his own household. Okay, our people are the worst people.
Hey, let's turn this the other way because there's too much glare, bro.
As far as their hate towards what the prophets, right?
Yeah. My bad.
Because what did they do with Yahawashi? Okay, they chose what Barnabas, right, which was nothing but a 2/3. Okay, over our Lord Yahawashi. When our Lord Yahawashi was giving them salvation and giving them understanding.
They
Okay.
wanted to kill Yahushua.
Yep, they want to kill
They
Yahushua.
wanted to kill Jeremiah. Jeremiah the 26th chapter. They threw him in prison. Jeremiah the 37th chapter. They wanted to kill Yahushua. John the 8th chapter. Peter was thrown in prison. And he was delivered by an angel. Acts the 12th chapter. And the beginning of that chapter, James was beheaded. John's brother, man.
This is Psalms 144. This is Psalms 144 and 7. Send thy hand from above. Who's that hand? That hand is Yahushua.
Yep.
Okay? From above. Rid me and deliver me out of the great waters, from the hands of strange children.
Out of the great waters.
Yep.
When the enemy comes in like a flood.
Psalms 124.
Also, I was just reading Psalms real quick.
Bring it over.
I'll go to 18 real quick. 18 and 4. Also Psalms 124.
Yeah, that whole, because that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be coming in like a madman, sparing none, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. Bring it
I
up.
know you're about to get 18 and 4.
Yeah.
Let me get this real quick. It's the same chapter.
Okay, come.
18 and 29.
Yeah.
Psalms 18 and 29. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by power have I leaped over a wall. That standard. It says, as for the Most High, his way is perfect. His way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all those that trust in him. See, so hey, trusting in the Lord, man, will give you that advantage over your enemies, man.
Come.
You got that?
Yeah, Psalms 18 and 4.
I'm going to go back to Psalms 1.
Yep, Psalms 18 and 4, and it reads, I'll start with 3. I will call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemies. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord and cried unto my power. He heard my voice out of his temple, and my cry came before him, even into his ears. Because the scriptures say in the book of Sirach, the prayers of the humble pierceth the clouds, man. And David was known as the beloved, a man after the Heavenly Father's heart. And the tears of the elect, the cries of the elect are heard by Yahweh Shem Shai. Through Raphael and the other angels that send up the prayers of the saints, man. Going into the 12th chapter, I'm Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels that hears the prayers, And those prayers are presented to Yahweh Shem Shai. You can read about that in the book of Revelation,
Yeah, and even the people that died. Okay, even Jake, the dude that got shot over there in Akron, over 60 times. He's crying out to the Lord to come back.
And he's in his right mind now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then also, the men that Abba Bivens and our apostles and the elders before Great Millstone. Okay, they're the ones that went to the spirit world and the truth. They're crying and sighing to come back and seek vengeance on this devil. Okay, for all the abominations that this devil has done. Psalms 144 and 8. Whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is the right hand of falsehood. Okay, yeah, so everything that they speak about is always nothing but abominations and iniquity. Okay, it says, I will sing a new song unto thee, O Yahweh, O palastree, an instrument, 10 strings. I will sing praises unto thee. So right now, this new song is what? The ministry. Okay, what is that? Psalms 40?
I'll get it
okay,
real quick.
that new song.
You guys put a new song in my mouth.
Yep. Yeah, the new song is what? This word, this truth. Okay, coming back to your heritage, coming back to who you are, rehearsing the righteous acts, following the commandments to the best of your ability. Okay, wearing the fringes if you're out here on the highways and the byways. Okay, growing out your beard. You're starting to you're fully persuaded in your mind. You're counting the cost. And when you're in this ministry, you gotta be all in. You can't be brother brought it out, James 1 and 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay, and that's when you're gonna get caught up, because just because you're an Israelite, that's one part of it.
I get it, 98.
You gotta be persecuted too.
This is Psalms 98 and 1, and it reads, "Oh, sing unto the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai a new song, for he had done marvelous things with his right hand." I'll start again from the top. I got to get excited because you mentioned the right hand in Psalms 144. Call out Yahweh Shem Shai.
Yeah, and the Lord loves hearing this new song.
Yep.
Okay, he glories in hearing this new song, being taught to the people, especially the people that are just coming in.
This is the song of Moses. This is the song of victory, man.
Yep.
Victory for the elect and defeat for all the heathen nations, man. And also through the elect, even the people who get purged out, they're gonna have to get purged out, but they're gonna get victory in the end because they're gonna live in a righteous kingdom, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna have to be in the ghettos, barrios, and reservations. You know, seeing your mom go catch hell, maybe not being with your father.
They're gonna have to catch a horrible death, but hey, you know.
Hey, but it's better on the other side.
It's better on the other side, man. It's better than living in captivity, man.
Yeah.
You know.
The grass is greener on the other side. You know, those green pastures.
This is Psalms 98:1. Oh, sing unto the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai a new song, for he had done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm had gotten him the victory. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai had made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly showed in the sight of the heathen.
Yep. Openly showed. Isaiah 34:1. That roll call of you're supposed to let not just our people know who they are, but also you're letting these other nations know their judgment and what's about to happen to them, which is what? If you're an Edomite, okay, and then the guy that was on the comment board that said, is there any salvation for the white man? No. If you're not an Israelite, there's no salvation for it.
There's no such thing as the white man.
Yep.
You know?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But
to take it one step further, they're the Edomites, man. There's no salvation for Esau Edom.
Yep.
The book of Hebrews says so, man, and other places as well. You know?
He's been rejected.
Isaiah 40:15, Isaiah 40:17.
Yep.
You know, they're nothing but spittle. They're nothing. You know?
And now that's why it goes into what if your spirit bear witness that our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is a spiritual thing. So you have people out there that are cardinal and they want to be it's a white thing, it's a black thing. No, it's actually a spiritual thing. Okay, and it's if you're of an Israelite.
This is Jeremiah 25 to bring up that point, because you judgment to all the nations. Let's just read about it.
Yep.
It reads judgment on Egypt and others, as far as the footnotes right here. Bring it to the camera so you can see it. This is judgment. I'll start with judgment on Jerusalem and Judah. Jeremiah 25:18.
I know.
To wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment, a hissing and a curse as to this day, as it is this day. Jeremiah 25:19. And it reads, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people, and the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, the kings of the lands of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azah, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod. You have people living in our holy land right now, man. You know, calling themselves us. That's talked about in the book of Ezekiel, the 36th chapter. You know, Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon, the so-called Asians, man. Oh yeah.
They're here in their judgment.
Yep. And the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon. You know, you got Tyre and Zidon, which are Hamite nations, Hamites, so-called Africans, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, Dedan and Tema and Buz, and all that are in the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arabia. The towelheads, man. You know, they got to get theirs too.
Ishmael.
You know, Ishmael, man, because what happened during the sub-Saharan slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, where you had the Edomites, the same wicked banksters, had a monopoly on the timber, and what they do, they sent out the Africans, the Hamites, Tyre and Zidon, and the Arabians, to round up the children of Judah, and they were sold to the Grecians. You know, Joel 3 and 6. You know, and they have to pay for what they did to our people, man. This is Jeremiah 25:24, and it reads, "And all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert," the towelheads, man. You know, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and the kings of the Medes. So not only the towelheads, but you have the red dot. They got to pay for what they did to our people as well. Now they're not mentioned in Psalms 83, but they still had our people in captivity, man. You know, the Persian Mede Empire, being the Persians, being the Elamites, the so-called East Indians, you know, the Pakistanis, so on and so forth. And then you have the Medes, the old school Medes, which are the Japhetic people, the Pacific Islanders, man. Now the modern day Medes will be the Russians, because what happened when Esau Edom came into those lands, he pushed Japhet out of those lands. And Japhet was occupying what's known as Russia today. But if you go into biblical prophecy where it talks about, and I will stir up the Medes, He's not talking about stirring up the Japhetic people. The Japhetic people aren't mentioned any time in end time prophecy.
They don't have no power.
The two major players when it comes to kingdoms, as far as rulerships and so on and so forth, are Esau, Edom, and Jacob. And then you have other minor players as well, like the Assyrians, who are nothing but Babylonians, the Babylonians, so on and so forth.
Yeah, they're nothing but Edomites. And that, going back to India, what did India do? They conspired together. So just like, you commit a murder, okay, and then you were with them. What does that mean? You going down too?
You're an accomplice.
Yeah, you're an accomplice. So you're an accomplice to what this slave trade, because you profited off it. Okay.
And the universal court's in session, and you guys are all guilty, man.
Because in New York they have the bodegas. Okay, there's a lot of Indians over there that with the dot on their head. Okay, and they put the old ass food in there, the chips and the
Esau,
sodas.
he's trying to run away from his nationality, but your bus say so. If you were to look up Herod Agrippa and the old school Herod Agrippa, there's actually one bust of one of the Agrippas, one of the Herods, the Herodian dynasty. One of them niggas looks just like Joffrey Baratheon, man. He looks just like the nigga, man. Just like him, bro. Like if you were to look at him up, if you go to King Herod and look up the bust, I can pull it up. He looks just like Joffrey Baratheon, bro, from Game of Thrones. Exactly like the nigga, man. Exactly like him, man. So how you gonna say you're not Esau, Edom? You weren't the Herodians, You're the bust tell us so. The architecture tells us so, man.
Because that's the evidence of. This is the evidence of what has been of what your unrighteous dealings. Okay. So I want to get this. This is Psalms 144:10. It is he that giveth salvation unto the kings, who delivereth David his servant from the hurtful sword. Okay, so that's Yahawashi, delivering the David, which is what would be the tabernacle of David, and we're praying of what that hopeful elect. Okay, from what that hurtful sword, which is what Esau Edom with his great sword, Revelation 6:4. Okay.
Who's this look like?
Isaiah 10:5.
Anyway, that was it.
Who's this look like?
Yeah, no, I seen it.
Who's this look like, man? It looks like Joffrey Baratheon from Game of Thrones, man. You can't hide it. You can't hide yourself no more, man.
Yeah, you're not American. You're not German.
Yeah, you're not German. You're the Edomites, man.
You're not a small hat. Or you're a small hat, but you're not those people.
You're not the children of the Heavenly Father. You're the vessels of wrath made for destruction.
Yep. You're the synagogue of Satan.
You're Hebrew Edomites. Right.
This is what you are right here. Psalms 144:11. Rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children. That's who you are. You are strange children, because everything you do is that's strange when you want to be with children. That's strange when you want to be with an animal.
When you want to take on somebody else's identity.
Yeah, you want to steal someone. Yeah, and then walk around like you're that person.
Now, if you go into that word strange in the Hebrew, one of the definitions is a harlot, which goes back to Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots, in the form of, if you read Zephaniah, you can relate it to that, better yet.
And what is this? This is the mother of all harlots, Babylon the Great.
I'll just get a precept
who's in control
to back that point up.
These strange children. Okay, that's why you see, again, bestiality. That's why you see pedophilia. That's why you see man on man, woman on woman, transformers. It speaks about that in Sirach 10. That's why, let me get
real quick, I'll just get this. This is Zephaniah 1, and I think it's about, there'll be spiders over there. You gotta watch the bag. You gotta keep the bags closed, bro, because there'll be black widows down here.
I remember what you told me.
Yeah. This is yep. This is Zephaniah 1 and 1 and 8. And it reads, and it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such that are clothed with strange apparel. Oh, you want to get that in the blue letter real quick, brother? Zephaniah 1 and 8. Look at that word strange.
Okay, real quick, this is Sirach 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man his well ordered.
Yep.
Okay? Yeah, a wise judge. And what do? They instruct you to what? Be a weirdo. Be a strange child. What was that again, brother?
Zephaniah 1 and 8. Look at the word strange. Because apparel, that word goes into clothing, but that word strange, it goes, one of the definitions is a harlot, a whore.
Zephaniah, right? Or is it Zechariah?
Zephaniah, 1 and 8. Any precepts in the comment board? It's like we just been rolling. Hey, Shalom, Maki, Halbashim Yashar Barakatah wa Atam. Everybody tuning in.
Yeah, so this is this word strange, right? It goes in the Hebrew word 5237. It goes into, foreign woman, harlot, okay, unknown, unfamiliar.
Oh, you guys come over here.
Okay.
Back over here.
Adulterous, different,
Adulterous, you know.
outlandish.
I'll read the precept one more time. Zephaniah 1 and 8, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, all those who are living lawfully." Man, you know, Esau, Edom, you know, who's in rulership. This is Zephaniah 1 and 8, and it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice. I made a great sacrifice in Basra.
Yep.
Want to get to Isaiah 34, brother? 5 and then 6. And the great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Because also that goes Isaiah 34 and 1, it goes into what the roll call, as we were just bringing it out.
Yep, the real nigga roll call, you know, because they're the niggards of the earth, man.
And real quick, let me because I went into the Strong's word, I went a little bit deeper, right?
Yep.
Hebrews 52:35, calamity, disaster, misfortune. Okay, and that's what strange means, right? And that's in the Hebrew, as the brother was, 4 and 5.
Yep, this is Zephaniah 1 and 8, and it reads, and I'll get the precept one more time. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and all the king's children and all that are clothed with strange apparel. What are they clothed with? They're clothed with the covering of Babylon the Great, the great harlot.
Let me get this other one. When you go a little bit deeper, this is the third time you go in, far as that word strange, right? You have the Hebrew word 52:34. Okay, to regard.
Let me see if I get that.
Oh yeah, maybe you can guys.
Nakar.
Nakar. Yeah, nakar, which would be what in the Hebrew, right? You want to?
Looks like it's Nabar, but it's all good. It looks like Bob, but it's all good.
All right, so that's why I just say the Hebrew 52:34
Yeah,
for
it's
the
all good.
coordinates. Because you can't hear. Because even sometimes the sound is not what it actually is.
It ain't what it is.
So,
if you actually go into the Hebrew chart, it'll you know what I'm saying?
So real quick, this is when you go into the definition, it says to regard, to observe, to pay attention to pay, to regard, to notice. Okay, and what did Cain got put on him? He got put with that mark. Okay,
Yep.
the mark of what, when you go into the definition, it goes into what the evidence. That's in Genesis 4 and 14. Okay, and that's evidence of who he is what to be what translucent, to have what his have his skin showing, exactly. Having his blood showing, okay, which is showing that what he's actually a red man, which his true nationality is what being an Edomite, okay. So we good on that.
This is Revelation 17:4, and it reads, "And the woman," talking about Babylon the Great, "was arrayed in purple," the woman that was riding upon the beast, you know.
And purple goes into what? Royalty.
Yep.
Okay.
And Esau Edom's in rulership right now. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness and fornication. One of the definitions was fornication, adultery. And one of the definitions in the word strange was actual a harlot, a woman, a whore. And it reads, Revelation 17:5, and
And
upon
that's real quick, because that's evidence of who Esau Edom is.
Yep.
Okay, when you go a little bit deeper in each one, that's why the apostles always
that's
say,
evidence of who the strange children are, of who the king's children are, and
what
the
they would
prince's
be doing.
children.
Yep. And
You
what
know?
they would be doing,
And
how they would look, how they would act.
and all those that are clothed with strange apparel, those who are following and eating of the philosophies of Babylon the Great, you know, those who've taken the MOT to the beat. You know, you're worshiping Cesare Borgia and you haven't repented, man. Well, you're going to be destroyed. You want to get Isaiah 34, brother? Yep. Let me get this real quick. Revelation 17:5, and it reads, "And upon her forehead was a name written, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great." And we know Babylon the Great to be America, the virgin daughter of Babylon, you know.
Yeah.
Psalms 137 and 7 and 8, and then Isaiah the 47th chapter. You know, it talks about old virgin daughter of Babylon, because this place hasn't been touched by actual real hardcore warfare. You know, the Spanish-American Wars, the British-American Wars, the French Revolutionary Wars, that was all kiddie play to what's really going to come to this place, man.
And I want to get, just to add on to what the mysteries, okay?
Yep.
Because the mysteries were given to what the prophets, okay? Because it says mystery of Babylon.
Let me finish the
Now,
precept.
mystery, no, bring it out, bring it out.
Revelation 17:5, and it reads, "And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Yeah, so to the service of the prophets, it's not a mystery anymore of what Babylon the Great is actually America.
Yeah, people
History
call
to the world.
You have people calling the Babylon. You have people calling
still
Babylon the
doing
Great.
that,
They calling it Vatican City and
Yep.
whatnot, man.
Yep.
You know.
And they're supposed to be in the truth.
Yeah.
You know, when they learned the correct doctrine, and then they went off doing all this.
Babylon the Great isn't Vatican City. Vatican City is one of those 3 unclean spirits that's mentioned in the book of Revelation. I want to say it's the 16th chapter or the 17th chapter that came up out like frogs. One being Washington, D.C., which is the leading military of the world, you know, which is actually going to cause all those nations to hate her. The other unclean spirit is the Vatican in Rome, which pushes the false idolatry that basically runs the whole world in the form of more of the world is into Christianity and Catholicism than any other religion. You know, the Roman Catholic Church is actually the mother, you know, of the Christian church, you know, plantation Christianity. And then the third one is London, where you have these wicked people living who run the world and their economics, you know.
Yeah,
And
the
all
monetary system.
and all 3 of those unclean spirits are going to be used to push the MOT to the beat, because they're going to use military force. They're going to use coercion of the Christian church. You're going to have pastors out there telling you to take it. You're going to have them locking down cities using the penalty of death, you know. And also you're going to have these people who run this central banks saying that you don't have access granted unless you take it, man. So those 3 unclean spirits are going to be used to further the agenda of the MOT to the beat. But the Vatican City isn't Babylon the Great, you know, but it is one of the 3 unclean spirits. Just wanted to bring that
Because that
point up.
goes in, yeah. Because the lion, which is where Esau Edom is what the mouthpiece. Why is that the mouthpiece? Because that is the money. Okay, where they're able to fund both sides of the war. So
And,
back
and-
to Brother
and
Rebel.
most of the rich bankers live in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, because this
The
is their,
Oppenheimers, the Rockefellers, the Wahlbergs, they all came out of
yeah,
London.
and their castles.
Yeah.
Where they're able to do a bunch of wickedness, and push forth what their abomination. Meanwhile, they're just. This is their Babylon is their cash cow.
Yeah.
Okay, basically like you know you say you own a store, but you don't live at the store. You live somewhere else. Okay.
Playground.
They the,
Yeah, that's
pi-
their
they the pimp and Babylon's the hoe.
Yep.
Yep.
This is Revelation 16 and 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon. Okay, so out of what? Rome. Okay, and this is what? Rome 2.0. Right? And out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. That false prophet what goes into you know the Vatican. Okay,
Yep.
goes into what the Pope. And what does the Pope push? He pushes pedophilia. He pushes it's okay to be a transformer. It's okay to be a man on man, woman on woman. Okay, he pushes what the hot sauce. Okay, so that's what these 3 unclean spirits are doing. What you have, you know, America, which is Babylon the Great.
Yep.
Okay, then they're able to they're joined okay, America.
And for the past 80 years, nobody wanted to fuck with America, especially when they bombed them gooks over there. You know, they dropped Fat Man and Skinny Boy. You know, nobody wanted to mess with them, man. But you have a lot of nations like the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China. They're saying the hell with Babylon the Great. We'll create our own currency system to trade oil and whatnot in, man. We'll create our own economic systems that are backed up by actual real gold, real minerals, to where we don't have to use the American dollar as the world reserve currency, man. You know?
This is Revelation 13 and 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea and have 7 heads and 10 horns. So the 7 heads goes into what Esau Edom's rulership. Okay, the 7 kings, right? I think it's actually on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, on this side, bro. Yep.
Yep. Those are the 7.
No, that's
No.
that's their philosophies. It's actually Jemina Major. It's right
Yeah,
here.
it's like
yeah,
it's like
Jemina Minor, Jemina Major.
It's like it, bro.
Now, French, because I wanted to read it because I always forget one.
Yeah, come.
Jemina Major, Jemina Minor. You have Rome. You have what? Greece. You have French, and then you have what? The British.
Yep.
Okay, and the Spanish. And this is Babylon the Great. This is the whore. Okay, America. Okay, that rides upon the the beast. Right here it says it had 7 heads and 10 horns. Those 10 horns symbolizes what these other nations that consulted together. Okay, which
That's why Babylon is a whore, because she's sleeping with all these philosophies over here, man.
Yep. Yeah, and what is their philosophy? Democracy, which is what you know, Democrat and Republican. okay, which creates what a tyranny, creates what a supreme rulership, dictator rulership. The religion, again, the Roman Catholicism, the Christianity, okay, and
Do what
other.
thou will.
Yeah,
You know,
do what thou will, do what you want. You know,
I'm a god. You know,
Yeah.
that's Esau Edom's
Yeah.
mentality.
yeah, be with an animal, it's all good. You know,
Hump a
be with
tree.
be with a robot. You know what I mean?
I can be with your 4-year-old boy.
Yeah, adultery. Okay. Yeah, sleeping with another man's wife.
Yep.
We caught that. Man on man, woman on woman, transformers.
Sleeping with children. You know,
Yep.
that's he's looking to normalize next. He's coming after your children, man.
Yep. Lies. Okay, and that's how you know who Esau Edom is. With the lies, that's their philosophy. Covetousness, yeah, wanting what somebody else has, but then fronting like you're actually cool with them. Meanwhile, like they did with the northern tribes.
Yep.
Okay, when they were when they made the contracts with Gad, what did they do? They went back on all those contracts. So what's the last one? Murder. Oh yeah, that's like the number one thing. Look at where we're at right now. Okay, we're in California, right? In San Diego, which was actually from our northern tribes, Issachar. Okay.
I got that for you. This is Micah 2:1, and it reads, "Woe to him that divides iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man and his heritage."
Beautiful. Because where did they take us from? Starting with West Africa, okay, and brought us over here. Okay, West Africa, they brought us over here. What, in the transatlantic slave trade, brought us over to what, a nation where we wouldn't know the countenance. That's why you have what these French and Spanish and British last names, when that's not who we are. Okay, that's why you speak English, that's why you speak Spanish or you speak French, because those are your oppressors, right?
I got that for you. Deuteronomy 28:49. I was in a nation from afar.
Yeah,
Yep.
beautiful.
This is Deuteronomy 28:49, and it reads, "The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth."
Who's the eagle? Okay, Esau Edom. What do you always have when you have one of the presidents speaking? You have that eagle right in the background, okay, which is the symbolism of who they are, going all the way back to Rome.
Second Hedges, the 11th chapter.
Yep.
You know, talks about that eagle. That's talking about the
Yep.
Roman Empire, and also in the Greek coins they had the eagle on there.
Beautiful, yep.
The Roman coins they have the eagle on there. If you look on the back of the quarter, what's on the back of the quarter? The eagle, man.
Yep.
You know what's on the dollar bill? Eagle, man. What was on the Spanish flags? The old school Spanish flags. An eagle, man.
Yep.
It's also on the Mexican flag,
Yep.
man. You know, it's on the top of every single flag. It's on the top of every single American flag. They have either a gold eagle or a silver eagle, man.
Yeah, because the Spanish were one of the 7 heads. Okay, we just read it right now.
Yep. I'll read it again from the top.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 28:49, and it reads, I'll get 48, and it reads,
Yeah, go down to 52. 'Cause I
Con.
think it goes into siege.
Con.
Because that's what they're doing right now. They're creating a siege. Bring it out.
Yep. I'll read it. You bring it out, brother. This is Deuteronomy 48, Slack it. And it reads, "Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till he have destroyed thee."
Beautiful. Type in yoke of iron around your neck as far as who had that around them. Okay, we have it right here in the picture, but when you look it up, it's going to be Jake. Okay, yeah, right there. And also that was going to our people. Okay, that yoke around, and we still have that yoke of iron around our neck. As far as spiritually, okay, but through this word, what we're being cleansed of all those false doctrines we're breaking down strongholds by having that breath of life. Okay, and then also when you go from a strange nation, okay, a strange countenance, we came. Christopher Columbus brought us over here. Okay.
Well, Christopher Columbus came over here.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
well, Slack
and,
it.
and then
Well,
it was the good ship Jesus was the first slave ship that came over here, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he came because our northern tribes were already over here. Right?
And they were speaking Spanish, and he brought Luis de Torres, and his actual that was his Spanish name, but his actual name that he had was Joseph ben Levi. And if you go to the Hebrew, it means Yawasap ban Loya. He was a son. He was basically, you look at that name, Ben Levi, Ben going into Ban, which means son, Levi meaning lawyer. You know, when you had Israelite priests spread amongst all the places where Jake ruled. You know, even going into where we had the Byzantine Empire, man. You know, you still had Jake going off, but they were still Levites. You know, springing among all that. You know.
And what I was trying to say was the
Transatlantic.
transatlantic slave trade, but also they had what the triangular
Yeah.
trading.
Yeah.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's
Triangular
right.
trading.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. It's water, brother.
It's like Europe, Africa to
Yeah.
Babylon,
Yep.
and you know.
So and again, so we were going. So when we were over here, the northern tribes were over here. We were also getting sent back up over there. Okay, and they were going back and forth as far as using us as far as slaves. Okay, and that goes back to that yoke of iron around our neck.
They sent a lot of Gad over to Portugal. It talks about that in the Lost Tribes, or Slaki, not the Lost Tribes.
Timbuktu?
Timbuktu, yeah. It talked about how prior to 1619, before we came over here, in like the 1500s, they were sending Gad over to Spain and Portugal.
It speaks about that in Revelation, same chapter that we're in, Revelation 13:11. They shall send gifts, okay, which were what? Slaves, okay, which was us.
I think that's 11.
Is it 11?
Revelation 11. Where it talks about those two prophets tormented them. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it is 11. Yeah, because that's when spiritually we woke up. You have any more on that, Deuteronomy?
You want me to read?
Yeah, go down to
52?
52.
Deuteronomy 28:49, and it reads, "The Lord Yahweh Shemel shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth." And that happened when the Spaniards came over here. You know, they were already on the other end of the earth, but they came to West Africa and brought the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, over here in slave ships. You know?
Just to back you up on that, this is Revelation 11, and it was 11, brother. Revelation 11 and 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them to make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because the two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. Okay?
Yep. And those two prophets is symbolic of the northern and southern kingdom, man. You know?
And because we're in their hands, we're tormenting what, day and night.
With this
and that's
report.
with this report.
That dreadful sound is in his ears.
Yep.
And it's getting to the point where this dude's going to come down with great wrath, you know? And we can't wait. We can't wait, you know? Because these are the times we've been prophesying about, starting with our elders and apostles on down, man. And Esau Edom is he's suddenly starting to do what we tell him he's going to do. You know, we've been telling him he's going to come down with great wrath.
Yeah.
We've been telling him he's going to come after us. You know, we're doing what they would call break the controller taunting, man.
Yep.
You know, if you're playing somebody in a video game and they're calling out every single play you're going to do before you do it, they're intercepting your passes, you know, sacking the linebackers, sacking the quarterback, injuring them, taking the ball from you, beating you 48-0. You're going to want to break the controller, man. Well, that's what we're doing to Esau Edom, man.
Because these mysteries were given to what the servants, the prophets, okay? That understanding.
Deuteronomy 28:50, and it reads, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young."
And so that's what they did. They fed our children to what they used them as gator bait. Okay, made them also shoes, made them jackets. You know, jackets of our bodies. Okay, all sorts of things. And then also, when we read in that earlier chapter, we should want for all things. Okay, what was he feeding us? He was feeding us what, chitlings? Okay, all these different abominations, feeding us just enough to be able to keep working. Okay, like we were what, cattle. Okay, that's why they call us what, goyim. Okay, which is worthless eaters.
In this kingdom that we live in, we don't own anything. You know,
Yep.
even if you own the house, he owns the property that the house sits upon. That's why you have to pay a mortgage, man.
Yep.
You know, you have to buy jeans, milk, eggs, cheese. Everything you get comes from their grocery stores. He owns the realty companies. He owns the banks. He owns the public institutions of public indoctrination. He owns the school system. He owns the monetary system. He owns everything.
Okay.
You know?
And what is he cutting off? All those things you just said.
Yep.
He's cutting those off if you don't take that charagma. Okay.
In the
And
precepts.
it speaks about that.
Hey, Shalom. This is Deuteronomy 28:51, and it reads, "And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee neither corn, wine, or increase of thy kind, or thy flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee." And that's also said in the book of Obadiah, if grape gatherers came, where they left any, gleaning grapes.
Yeah, they don't leave nothing. They'll give you a job with a very low, very low wages. Okay, and then what do? They'll take taxes out. You know. Then if you get with a woman, then you got to pay what?
Child support.
Child support. Or if you have a child with her, but if you're married to her, now you got to pay alimony. And if you both, you gotta do both. Okay.
Can't wait till niggas are destroyed, man. You got some niggas back there doing, man, niggas, man. This is Obadiah 1:5, and it reads, "If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?"
Beautiful, because what are they doing right now? Okay, they took your woman, they took your child, they're taking your house, they're taking your job, now they're taking food, they're taking away water. Okay, now what do they want? They want your soul. They want your VMAT 2, they want your Gaji. Okay, they want to implement something that goes under your skin so they can be able to look at what you're doing at all times. And if you don't comply, it's a get down or lay down mentality.
This is Deuteronomy 28:52, and it reads, "And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates."
And what are they doing right now? They're besieging the whole city, okay, or America, okay. How are they sieging it? They have they just passed a law which within 100 miles they can be able to take away your Fourth Amendment rights.
And this happened in 70 AD, where he besieged Jerusalem. You know,
beautiful. Which was written for our wartime, was written for our Lord. This is the same thing he's doing right now. Because siege is a military tactic, a blockade to be able to have the people inside comply to whatever that they want. Okay, and what do they want you to have? They want you to have that device, okay, inside of you. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to do nothing. Okay, and then bringing out that legislation that they passed, that 100-mile radius. Okay, which is that Fourth Amendment right, which is they can't come into your house, but now they can come into your house and call you a health risk. Okay, and ultimately that's to take away the right to bear arms. The people, because our weapons of warfare are not carnal, but this world is carnal. Okay, this is the #1 place where people have guns. Okay, because that's not going to be able to save you.
Deuteronomy 28:52, "And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou treadest throughout all thy land. He shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, thy power, hath given thee."
Yep. So again, they're besieging this whole place, bringing it down to what? So basically, you're either going to get down or lay down, and that's the same thing that Yahweh Shai is saying. Yahweh Shem Shai is saying, you're either going to get with me, okay, or you're going to die with these devils. You're going to be the death of an infidel. Okay, you're going to get caught up with the famine, the scourges,
You're going to get punished with all the kings and princes' children, because you're out there being clothed with strange apparel, man. You're taking on the covering. You're taking on the covering, but not the covering of Yahweh Shem Shai.
So which means you're going to be naked, because this is what they're doing with that siege. They're cutting off these supplies, right? Sirach 39 and let's get right to the point. 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water. What are they doing with the water? Mercury. They already were putting fluoride in it, but now they have mercury waters that are killing all the fish. Okay, fire. Okay, they're taking away you're not going to be able to heat up your house when it comes to the winter. That's why it speaks about pray not your flight be in the winter.
Also in the UK, they're having they're telling people that they can't use water hoses.
You have to burn wood.
Yep.
From the trees out. Yeah.
Come.
Yep. So again,
and in certain places in the United States, they're telling people that they can't use the AC. They were telling people that, I think about a month ago or so. I remember reading something about that.
And then also today they said that you're not supposed to use water for a certain amount of time. I think that's going to start in September 6th. They're doing a lot of stuff in that month of September, and they're telling people, I think it was like 15 days. I'm not sure if it's just to water the land, but the whole point is that they're putting a limit on these certain things that were freely given before, right? And it says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron. Okay, because iron, what does that do? That's able to make you, your bones and things like that. Okay, so you don't be basically very important part of your body, which they take the iron out of the food. Okay, and salt is very important too for your body. But what do? They take that stuff out and hit it with that fake salt. Okay, it says flour of wheat, so that goes into your bread. What are they doing with the food stores, right? They burn down over 130, food operational centers. They're telling these farmers not to grow anymore. They're putting Monsanto cross-contaminating the seeds with Monsanto, which creates a disease which all these people have. okay, which creates what? Genetically modified organisms, right? Honey, okay, milk, and blood of the grape, and the oil and the clothing. So they're taking away everything. They're sieging this place. And if you don't have this hedge around you, you don't have that cloak, that white remnant. Okay, you're just going to be caught in the
And speaking
Jacob's
of,
trouble.
and speaking of that, if you read this precept one more time, all those points are analogies for having the word.
Yep.
You know,
Beautiful.
want to read it again, brother?
Yep. So, because
Because if you don't have this word, you're not going to be taken care of, man.
Yeah, you're not going to have the food, the water, the clothing. They're not going to have any of these
Yep.
things. Beautiful point. Sirach 39 and 26. It says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire.
Rivers of living water, and this word is compared to as fire. You know, Jeremiah 5 and 14, Jeremiah 23 and 29. Also, the Lord, our Heavenly Father, is a consuming fire. And it also talks about the ministers are a flame of fire as well. You know?
Is not my word a flaming fire?
Yep.
You know, roughly paraphrasing that.
Yep.
Because that puts.
He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water.
Yep.
The scripture say in the book of Proverbs, the 5th chapter, it said, let thy rivers, let thy waters, let thy fountains be dispersed in the streets. Roughly paraphrasing, you know? Proverbs 5 and 16, I believe. You know, it talks about drink waters out of thy own cistern. Proverbs 5 and 15, and then the next verse says, let thy fountains be dispersed abroad in the streets.
Yep.
Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad and rivers of waters in the streets, I believe, roughly paraphrasing.
2nd Ezra 6 and 27, for evil shall be put out and deceit shall be quenched.
Mhm.
Okay, going into what?
And how do you quench something? With water.
Yep.
You know?
So this is Sirach 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron.
Yep. The sword,
In Joseph,
you know?
the show that I worked on.
The sword of the spirit, you know, Ephesians 6 and 17. Take this holy sword, a gift from Yahweh, with the which thou shalt wound thy enemies. 2 Maccabees 15 and 16. Let's keep on going, bro.
Yep. It says, and salt,
Salt, let thy conversations be sprinkled with salt.
flour,
Flour,
wheat,
the bread, you know?
honey.
Yep, honey. The words like honey when you first experience it. Then comes the bitter part, you know?
Milk,
Milk, you have to get the sincere milk, you know?
and the blood.
The blood, you know?
That's Yahweh Shai.
That's Yahweh Shai.
Yep. That blood that's the red letter, the covering.
Yep.
Okay, because he died. His blood is
Also, the life is in the blood.
yeah. The heritage.
You know,
the heritage.
the words that I speak unto you, they are life.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, because Yahweh Shai sacrificed to Yahweh in blood. So now he's coming back for blood.
Yep.
And blood, you know, like the brothers, that goes back to your heritage, the lineage. Okay, that's why these Edomites can't be saved, because they're not of the lineage. Okay, they're not of a Hebrew Israelite, right?
They didn't put in on this, man.
Yeah. And the blood of the grape.
The blood of the grape, you know, the yanyan, you know?
Yep. The wine. What is that? Revelation. I think it's Revelation 6. It speaks about hold on to the wine and the oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which is what is true.
The oil's next,
It
right?
said, yeah, and oil.
Yep, the oil,
Yep.
you know?
It says, and
Thou-
the clothing.
Yeah, thou prepared me a table in the land of my enemies, roughly paraphrasing Psalm 23. Thou noticed my cup of oil,
Yep.
my cup overrunneth.
Yep. The oil is what keeps it burning.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What is that?
The five
The virgins.
foolish virgins.
Yep.
They didn't pack any oil, you know?
Yep. And
They
then
didn't trim their lamps, you know?
beautiful. And that clothing goes into what the white remnant.
Yep.
Okay, that spiritual cloak that's around you that you're gonna need.
Speaking of clothing, I'll just get it real quick. One of my favorite precepts. This is Revelation 16 and 15, and it reads, behold, I come as a thief. Blessed he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
Yep.
And that's your spiritual garment, you know? I was going to get that. Isaiah 30 and 1, and it reads, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, and take counsel, but not of me, and cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. That walk to go down into Egypt, and are not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And a lot of our people are going to trust in the shadow of the modern day Egyptians. And what are they going to do? They're going to be confounded, you know, they're going to be destroyed. I'll keep on reading.
Chapter 10.
7, I'll get 7, because
Okay,
it talks
yeah.
about the Egyptians.
Well, it
shall
talks
help
about also what the will help in vain.
them. Yeah, that's 7.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's 7. Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Isaiah 30 and 3, and it reads, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. The trust in the shadow of Egypt is going to be your confusion. Isaiah 30 and 7, and it reads, for the Egyptians shall help in vain and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still. And we've cried concerning this, man. We've cried out, you know, that the Egyptians are going to help you in vain. We're constantly, you know, starting with our eldest apostles, doing videos about this prophecy right here. They're going to look to help you in vain with this. And they're going to present this like this is the best thing since sliced bread. Like this is the way right here.
They're gonna be using celebrities, you know, to advocate for it.
And not no washed up celebrities. Like when the juice came out, they were pushing. Yeah, they were using Juvie, you know, VAX that thing up. They were using Tragic Johnson, the virus, Danny Trejo, and some other dude. And they were like, yeah, and they were using Bill Russell. This is the shot I want.
George Lopez?
Yeah, George Lopez.
Okay.
Yeah, George Lopez. They used Danny Trejo too.
Yeah.
Because they were in the conference in LA on some hill.
I know they were on top of the roof.
Yeah, they were on some roof.
It might not have been George Lopez. I think they used
It was Danny Trejo.
I know it was Danny Trejo.
He was in the movie From Dusk Till Dawn, the
Machete.
John Travolta film.
Machete too.
Yeah, Machete.
Yeah, Machete.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember From Dusk Till Dawn. That's the movie I remember.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he gets on.
Yeah. But
They're gonna be using the Steph Currys, LeBron James.
yeah, they're gonna be using A-list celebrities. You know, like last time they used, you know, Marvin Hagler, he got knocked out. You know, Hank Aaron, he got struck out, and then Bill Russell fouled out. They used all them 3 washed up ass niggas, and all them niggas died. You know what I'm saying? That's what they get for trusting in the shadow of Egypt, man. The scriptures say, never trust thy enemy. You can't trust this devil, man. You know? Look at this track record. Look at your last name, bro. You know, your last name should tell you you can't trust this devil. What did he do to your great-great-grandfather? You know? If you go through your family history, I bet you find some fucked up shit he did to your great-great-great-great-grandfather, man. You know?
This is Sirach 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom he will be good, and he shall not take pleasure in his goods. So what type of person puts his own people in subjection? Okay, his own people in subjection, right? Far as
you want to get 9? It says he's a nigger at this table.
I'm gonna go all the way down. You know, but what does he do to his own people? That's why he puts his own people under slavery. You know, he puts his own people under have to pay taxes.
Well, this dude, he sprays the skies with barium aluminum.
Exactly.
If you look at the periodic table, it's BAAL, barium, as far as on this scientific periodic table, barium, and then aluminum is Al, and you combine those both together, it's Baal. He sprays the skies with Baal, and this nigga gotta breathe the shit too.
Yep. Yeah, so he's evil to himself. He poisons his own kingdom.
He's beaching himself, just like the whales do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he's like, it's all good.
Shalom,
Yep, so again, this is Sirach 14. This is an apocrypha, Sirach 14
coming out, bro.
and 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envy himself, and this is the recompense of his own wickedness. So he glories in himself. He looks at.
Well, if you go into the history, what did he do? He despised his own blessing. He despised his own birthright.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
Genesis 25, man.
Yep. He envied himself. He thinks that again. Ezekiel 28:2. You know that he opposed himself. That he is God. That I am. I sit in the seat of God. I have my science. Okay. What did Yuval Noah Harari say? That's under crony of Carl Schwab. He said that there's going to be. He said that if there is a savior, it's going to be out of Silicon Valley, which is them trusting in their science, envying themselves, thinking that they are the creator.
This is Genesis 25. I'm going to go 29 down to 34 real quick. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. This is the first name that Esau is being referred to as Edom. Genesis 25 and 30. It also is reiterated in Genesis the 36th chapter.
Which is Genesis is the beginning.
Yep. This is Genesis 25 and 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob for some uncooked lentils, uncooked stew that was red, because it wasn't all the way done yet.
which shows you that what he has no patience.
Yep.
Okay, he has no patience. See, and this thing is what long suffering. Okay, he wanted it. He wanted it right now, but Jacob was what able to wait. Okay.
And a true ruler has patience.
Yep.
You know, that's why he's unfit to rule. You know, this is Genesis 25 and 34, and it reads, "Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and they did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way, and thus Esau despised his birthright."
And that goes in. Yeah, he despised his birthright. Okay, so that goes into what. Let's just bring it out. We'll go back to Genesis 27. What he despised that birthright, and what did he want to do? He wanted this right here, Genesis 27 and 41. "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father at hand."
And he did this right after what? He was given the blessing of the sword.
Yep. Beautiful. Yep. And so it says,
which is a consolation prize. You know,
yeah, because it's but for a moment.
That's a consolation prize. That's actually really a murder. That's actually a murder weapon to use against himself.
Yeah.
Because what's going to be used to destroy Babylon the Great? I'll just get it real quick.
The bow shall fall upon his own head. Let me finish this out. This is Genesis 27 and 41. "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessing him. And
Yep.
Esau said in his heart, yeah, so his mind, the days of mourning for my father at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob." Okay? And who's Jacob? That would be so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. Okay? Yasha Allah.
Yep.
Okay?
Yikwa.
Princes of the power, right? 42. "And these words of Esau, elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, do comfort herself, proposing to kill thee." Okay, so the mother, it was symbolic because the mother is known as what? Wisdom. And Rebekah told Jacob to, basically your brother's going to kill you. Okay, and that's the same thing that wisdom is telling us now, that Jacob, that Esau wants to kill us. Okay, according to the scriptures and according to the things that he does to be able to try to get back to that birthright, because we know that he was rejected.
Con, I got a couple for you. Pump the brakes.
Bring it out.
I got a couple for you, brother, because you mentioned in that wisdom.
Yep.
Like to go into these books of wisdom. This is Proverbs 2 and 9. I'm gonna get second. I'll get second Ezra real quick. 13 and 55.
Yeah, bring him up.
Second Ezra 13 and 55, and it reads, I'll get 54. "For thou hast forsaken thy own way, and applied thy diligence to my law, and sought it. Thou hast ordered Second Ezra 13 and 55. Thy life hast thou ordered in wisdom, and hast called understanding thy mother."
That mother. I mean, what did Rebecca say? Hey, get out of here, because what? Esau's going to try to kill you. Okay?
This is Proverbs 2 and 9, and it reads, Proverbs 2 and 10, and it reads, when wisdom entereth into thine heart," the Hebrew word for heart is la'ab, which is your mind. "When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee." For what? From what? "To deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things." And who's that man? That man is known as Esau Edom, the bloody man. I was gonna get it a little earlier. I think you got it a little earlier. Psalms 59. Some precepts.
59 and 1. I only brought it out. I only got the first two, though. I was going to go down to 5.
I'll get Psalms 140 because it goes into the same thing.
I want to get this word discretion.
It's a bloody man.
Right? The quality of behaving or speaking in such a way as to avoid causing offense and revealing private information. Okay? Yeah, behaving in a certain way. So what? Putting off that old man, putting on the new man. Rehearsing the righteous acts. You're not speaking the same thing. You're not talking about, selling drugs anymore. You're not talking about gang banging no more. You're not talking about sleeping with another man's wife no more. Okay, you should be speaking this word. Okay, occupied in in psalms and hymns, and that goes to what? Discretion. Okay, so I just want to bring that out.
This is Psalms 140 and 1. I'm gonna read down to 5, and it reads, Deliver me, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man." And who is the wicked and evil and violent man? The man who was given the sword. This is Proverbs 17 and 13. Real quick.
It started at 5.
Psalm 17 and 13. Tripping.
I be doing that too.
Yeah, it's all
Because they
good.
don't have the ISA and the PSA.
This is Psalms 17, and you said you want me to start where?
At 5, I think it's the apple of his eye. Psalm 17 and 5. It's at right here, 8.
Yep. Psalm 17 and 8, and it reads, Keep me as the apple of thine eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings.
Okay, so who's the apple of his eye? It's going to be the elect right now.
Yep.
Okay, ultimately all of Israel, but right now the apple of his eye is the elect. Okay,
Psalm 17:9, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly.
yep. And what are they speaking about? They're speaking great wonders, how their science. Hey, we got this device for you. Hey, we can heal you. You know, if you can't speak, hey, we're gonna make you be able to speak. You want to speak different languages? Here, we'll just hook you up.
If you're speaking dangerous misinformation, you know, we're gonna silence you, or you know, we may sue you. You know, we're gonna embarrass you. You know, like look what they did to Alex Jones. You know, and that's all a precursor of what they really want to do to us. You know.
Yes, that's why they want to take away the Bible. Same thing they did with Antiochus Epiphanes back in that time. Antiochus Epiphanes, the Greek captivity. Okay, it was the same thing. They're doing that over there in Nicaragua. I think it's Nicaragua, where they're taking away the churches. Okay, they're burning down the churches. But it's also because those people are waking up to who they are. That image of that white, pale-faced baby, butt-naked baby images that they put out. That's not the true images. It's actually what a dark-skinned complexion.
That
right?
also
Brown
happened.
skin.
That also happened in Rome. Real quick, Acts 18:1, and it reads, after these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth, and found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately come from Italy, with his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome, and came unto them.
Yep.
It got so bad in Rome, you know, Jake was out there raising so much hell with the word of the Lord, you know, in righteousness, you know what I'm saying? Prophesying against Esau, telling them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai, that they told all the Jakes, you got to get out of Rome, man. Nah, we ain't having no more.
Yep.
You know?
And this is First Maccabees 1. Bring it up.
This is Psalm 17 and 11, and it reads, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing on the earth. They like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Yahweh Shem Yahshai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Yep, which is thy sword. Isaiah 10:5, the Assyrian, the rod of Yahweh Shem Yahshai's anger. Okay, he's meant to put forth punishment on our people that don't want to listen.
Yep.
Okay, that whipping stick. That's why King David spoke about disappoint thy sword. King David had the wisdom, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of who the sword was. Okay, which is the white man. And what do they want to do? They want to take away the sword that we have. This is First Maccabees 1:56. And when they had read, it says, and when they had read in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burnt them with fire. Okay, and that's what they're going to be trying to do with these Bibles right now. Okay, they're going to be trying to take them away and burn them because they know that there's truth in this scriptures, right?
This is Psalm 60:9, and it reads, who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? You know, and this word is going to allow us to cast down Esau, Edom, step by step, play by play, you know, until our Lord cracks the sky, you know. And this is that strong city, Babylon the Great, you know, that's being confounded right now by men with Bibles, man. You know, that's the power of this word, you know. This word has reached the gates of the nobles, and they're getting fed up, you know. Just like the scriptures say they're going to get fed up. And what are they going to do? They're going to come down with great wrath. And that's when the standard will be lifted, man.
It speaks about you shall have power to cast down devils.
Yep.
Okay, and that's what it's doing. This devil is being
serpents,
put down.
Scorpions.
Yep.
You know.
This is Second Maccabees.
And none of these shall hurt you.
Yep. Yep. And even eat what defiled bread. I think it speaks about poisonous food. That's in Mark. This is Second Maccabees 15:16. Take this holy sword, which is what? These scriptures. Okay, that they tried to take apart. This was actually inside of the king. This is the king. This is all one, but they tried to take it out.
In the 1880s, the Bible Destruction Group, you know, came up with the ploy to take the Apocrypha out of the scriptures because it condemns Esau, Edom. You can match up the bloodlines going back to the Macedonians, to Hagag, back to Haman, back to Agag, back to Eliphaz, back to Esau, man. Also, it calls them the wicked. First Maccabees, the 3rd chapter, those who are coming against Judas Maccabees, it calls them the wicked. Who do we know the wicked to be? Esau. It also calls them Esau. First Maccabees, the 5th chapter. It also talks about the Greek captivity. You know, it talks about how the natives came over here. Second Ezra 13th chapter, 40 down to 46. It also talks about the destruction of this place and how the Lord's going to come and destroy all your wicked inventions. Second Ezra the 13th chapter, and it calls you the eagle. Second Ezra the 11th chapter. It calls Rome the eagle, man, and that eagle has came back. You know.
Yeah, we were reading it in Deuteronomy 28.
You know.
Okay, with that eagle
That
come with a fierce
yep.
countenance.
Yep.
Okay.
So that a few reasons why they took the Apocrypha out of the scriptures, man. You know, because without the understanding of who the third beast is, you can just walk around thinking that salvation is for everybody, not knowing what happened in the Greek captivity, which is the beginning of Edomite rulership. You know, that's where you know,
Go back to that.
that's where our people started to fall off in a major way. You know, because during the Greek captivity, it was illegal for you to call yourself a Jew. You know, to profess yourself being a Jew. You know, as far as Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, Jew means Judah. You know, that's what it really means, you know, of the tribe of Judah. And if you go into the Hebrew, it's Yahweh. It means praise the Lord. You know, Yahweh, Thawada. You know, Yahweh. You know, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, and then Thawada. Yeah, Yahweh thanks. Praise the Lord, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Which
Praise
shows
Yahweh.
You that the name is in there.
Yeah.
Yahweh's name is there. Yahweh thanks.
It's not, I mean, if the name is Ahia, then the tribe of Judah should be called Ahia then. You know what I'm saying? But that shows you how off these guys are. Once again, the Wadi Habashim Yashai for the understanding of the Wadi Habashim Yashai for the correct teachers. And once again, being able to be led to those teachers. You know, Isaiah 30 and 20. You know, the ear shall hear a word.
Yep. Because again, this word is what a cutting. What Hebrews 4 and 12. Okay, a cutting asunder, dividing what? If you're righteous, dividing if you're actually of the elect, or if you're not. Let me get this real quick. 2 Maccabees 15 and 16. Take this holy sword, a gift from Yahweh, with which thou shalt wound thy adversaries. And right now, they're getting cut up. Okay, they need some Vaseline. They need to be put in the corner. You know, they're about to tap out. Okay, but the Lord is going to put a spirit on them to keep going, to even fight to the end. They're going to even be trying to fight, and because the Lord is going to put that spirit on them, and that's why we're going to have that
even,
rod.
It talks about that in the book of Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. It's like it, brother. When the Lord comes and cracks the sky, you're going to be scared as hell when the Lord comes and cracks the sky. You know, but the Lord's going to put a spirit on you to fight anyway, man. You know. Also, Second Ezra, 13th chapter. You know, they're afraid but still fight.
Yep.
You know, and there's comfort in knowing these things, man. You know, these are mysteries that our people aren't given. You see Jake walking by the camp right here, you know, and what are they doing? On their way to go bump Keisha and them, man. You know, pants hanging off their asses. You know, bitches looking unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she didn't look like that when she woke up today.
Yeah.
They were showing a picture of that. They had the girl before, and then when she came out, she was like 4 different. It was crazy because it was a TikTok video, right? And she was like, it was saying something about different faces or something. I forgot the song, right? But it was all the same girl, right? But she was like 12 different girls.
Well, they had
she looked different in every single.
They had the video of those. I think they might have been Hamites, they might have been Haitian, or maybe Levi. You know what I'm saying? But they were those chicks. There were 3 chicks, and they were like singing some song, and then they had no makeup on, and then they had makeup on. When they had makeup on, they actually looked sort of good. But without makeup, they look busting disgusting.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's how Babylon the Great is.
Yep.
You know, it looks all good from the outside. Hey, look, we can come over here, you can make money. But then when you come here, and a lot of people that come from other countries, when they come here, they start to realize this place is nothing but a shithole. Yep. Nothing but what circling the drain. That there's nothing but a constant oppression.
This is Isaiah 30 and 20, and it reads, "And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction," and though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more. But thine eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left. So your eyes are going to see your teachers, and your ears are going to hear the word of Yahweh.
Can I speak a little
No,
truth to
back
you?
up, bro. Back
You
up.
gotta go, man.
Go, man. Go down the street, man.
You gotta go. The little truth is what we're speaking. What you're talking about is nothing.
Kick rocks.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
hardcore.
because we see the energy that you're coming with.
Oh, wow, okay, you do.
Yeah.
Go fuck with the Rastafarians or the hippies down there smoking weed, man. We ain't got time for you, man. Wow. Keep on teaching.
That's just
Jeremiah 6 and
blessings.
16.
That's just blessings right there, dude.
Thus saith the Lord
We
Yahweh
have-
Bashim Yahshai.
We have no
Stand
time
ye
for
in the ways,
nobody else.
and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? Walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
Yep. And that's
You know?
2/3 of our people. They don't want to walk down to what the straight path. They want to walk down to what that Broadway. Okay, which is the Broadway is what? Christianity, Roman Catholicism, being niggerly. Okay, just like the guy right there, he comes off his energy, gets in people's space, and their own little space, and then he thinks that someone wants to listen to him. Then he's gonna talk about telling the truth. Okay, if he was
Slurring his words, drunk.
Yeah, slurring his words, and first of all, you're in another man's space. See, that's how Esau is. He be in your space. He be watching you on your phone, watching you while you're with your lady. That's that strange child that we were speaking about, and he looked like he was an Edomite.
This is
Okay?
Jeremiah 6 and 17, and it reads, I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet, but they say, we will not hearken. And that's the mentality of 2/3 of our people, man. You know, you got Jake walking by the camp right here, Issachar and Zebulon, man. And what are they doing? On the way to the beach to go drink some brew, you know. Probably jump somebody in the gang a little later on, put them on National City, you know, NC gang, or what's that? One of them gangs out there in South Dago, man. You know what I'm saying?
Chula Vista.
Yeah, Chula Vista.
Yeah.
The Chula Vista gang.
13th Street.
Yeah,
18th
13th Street, 18th Street, one of them, man.
Logan.
Yeah, Logan.
Yeah.
And they also got what's that shit?
I forgot the name. Yeah, but
Yeah, they got Logan.
Yep.
What's that? Shelltown.
Oh yeah, Shelltown.
Yeah,
Yep.
Shelltown.
Shelltown gangsters.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Delta Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is John instead of what? This way right here. This is John 14 and 6. Yahawashi said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. If I had known me, you should have known my Father. Also from henceforth you know him and you have seen him. Okay, showing you that our Lord Yahawashi looks just like what his father.
Yep.
Okay, which would be what a so-called black man, as it speaks about in the scriptures. Okay, and he's what the way, the truth, the life. Okay, which is what with Esau is nothing but the this dog standing up. Yeah, that's how our Lord actually looks, and it speaks about the description of him a couple, like 3-4 times in the scriptures. Okay, as we got right here. Okay, and what did they put forth? What these pale-faced baby, butt-naked baby images, making our Lord what a so-called homosexual, feminine, long stringy-haired man. Okay, when long hair goes back, you're not supposed to have long hair. Okay.
Well, that goes back to what they were doing in Corinth. That's why Paul said it's a shame for a man to have long hair. Apostle Tahar was going into the history of why he went into that. It's because it was a custom of those living in Corinth, which was in Greece, but it was a province of the Roman Empire. Because those men in Corinth, as far as the heathen, it was a custom for them to have long hair, you know. And you had a lot of Israelites doing it, and you have that custom still going on to this day.
Yep. You have
You
the
know?
dreads. Look at Jay-Z. Jay-Z he became 55 years old, right?
And now he looks homeless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He looks like
the whole time he had basically how you're supposed to be, not a lineup, but basically
except for not having the beard, you know. But
Yeah,
he had a decent appearance about himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and now he looks like because that's what they want to paint him as, like Bob Marley.
Yeah. This is Jeremiah 10:1 and 2, and it reads, Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. The key point is the first part of the verse. Learn not the way of the heathen. And long hair, that's actually feminine, man. You know, if you have long hair, that's effeminate stuff. That a glory of a woman is long hair, and it's actually a heathen custom. You know, the Druids. You know,
yeah.
yep.
I think it was
The Elamites. You know, going into dreadlocks. You know what I'm saying? Worshiping the goddess Shiva. And then you had those Edomites in Corinth who were having long hair. You know. And that's why Apostle Paul said it's a shame for a man to have long hair. And if you keep on reading, it says, for we have no such custom. And a lot of guys will take that out of context, so we don't have no such custom for a man not to have long hair. Nah, nigga, it's not a custom of an Israelite to have long hair. You You know,
Yep.
that's the custom of an Israelite woman. That's a woman's custom. You know, that's a woman's glory. But you have a lot of men, they're so in love with their shitlocks, you know, their doo-doo stinking dreadlocks that they ain't washed in years because they think it's because women like, you know, women like dudes with braids.
Yeah, you can do your
You know,
do your hair together.
Women like
you know,
dudes with the Iverson twists and, you know, with the little
lineups.
the little twisty braids. You know,
doing their eyebrows.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
They don't like
The women like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't give a damn what women like. You know, in the form of that bullshit, man. You know, it's effeminate, man.
Yep. Because that goes into being not part of this world right here. This is John 3.
Yeah, being not conformed to this world.
Yep.
Beautiful.
This is John 3:19, and this is the condemnation
And
that light is coming to the world.
Women love feminine men.
Yep.
Just to keep it funky, man.
Why? Because they can stomp them out.
They can control your ass,
Yep.
man. You
Tell
know?
you what to do.
Tell you
slap
what to
you
do.
across the head.
Yep, slap you across the head. Well, I'll get first Ezra the 4th chapter because it goes into that.
Yeah,
she took the crown off his head, man.
Yep.
And you have a lot of men, you know, they're letting women do that, you know,
Yeah, women rule the house.
running over you, man.
You know, you'll make more money than the woman, but then she'll be telling you what to do. You'll be cooking dinner while she's sitting down, chilling, talking shit about you.
Yep. Yep, you're the name. You're the
Look at him. He's
You're-
always working.
yeah, you're the you're the key piece of conversation
Shit on the wall.
during girls' night out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
He ain't shit.
I run over this nigga and this nigga ain't shit. That's them doo-doo stinking ass bras we talking about, man. A lot of
him in
them,
his ass yesterday.
a lot of them,
They to watch the kids.
they don't have it together. Their hygiene's all messed up. Credit's bad. You know,
Yep.
got 4, 5, 6 baby daddies and you just let them run over you, man. Because a lot of there's like men are feminine. You know, because what does this society do? This society breeds that that's normal. It's cool because that's a custom of Esau Edom to let his woman roll over him, man. You know.
Because again, that's why divorce.
Yeah.
You know, you're not supposed. Those are things that you're not supposed to do either. Okay, there's a certain way how that's supposed to go, and if the
A woman's not supposed to be able to leave, but
Yep.
Esau Edom writes up laws that allows women to leave.
Yep.
Take your kids, you know, alimony, take all your shit. That's wickedness, man.
and that's ultimately to oppress our people, which we've already seen. Okay, like this guy, right? You know, he keeps coming by, right? This is the sign of what happens when Esau
Of
gets
course,
a hold of
he
you.
got dreads, right?
I'm not sure if he does, but he's in that R&B spirit.
Yeah.
You know, I love a woman. You know,
That
when, he,
Jaheim.
when he gets home, he's gonna cook for her and, you know, make the bed and clean it. I tell you.
Can't make this up.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Can't make it up, man.
And that's a lot of our 2/3 of our people, because what? They don't want this light. This is John, which is the truth. John 3:19. This is the condemnation.
Through.
Yep. See, and that's how our people are. That's not gonna be happening in the kingdom, singing love songs.
Yeah.
Okay, singing love songs. Our women are gonna be loving the men. Why? Because the men have they have that light on them. Because they're dealing with Yahweh Shema Shai. There's gonna be a true order. Yahweh Shai, okay, the man, the woman, and the child. Okay, there's gonna be order, so there's gonna be peace. Even you women that are you know, in this world, because you've been going back and forth with Esau, right? That pick and roll.
You're gonna have
okay,
peace.
Yeah, you're gonna have peace, because you're not gonna have to put on like being a fool. You're not gonna have to put on umbrellas. Okay, you're not gonna have to put on.
Take
you're gonna
care.
be able to wear a dress.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have to
You're
wear
gonna have your
jeans
real
that are
hair.
hanging with your camel toe hanging out. You know, walking down the street. You know what I mean? And then you got to be, because a lot of women they get raped.
Yep.
Okay, with the
Or they get put in a rock and a hard place, and they have to sell their bodies.
Yep.
And they end up-
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And they end up having a man take advantage of them in the form of, I'll give you guidance, I'll direct you, baby, hey, baby, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Well,
saying?
even in these
And then
clubs.
they end up getting gamed up, and they end up whoring themselves out for that man.
Yep.
You know,
That's what OnlyFans is.
getting pimped out and shit, man.
Yeah, that's what OnlyFans
And
is.
there won't be any of that in the kingdom, man. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? The woman will be in correct order. You know.
Because you're not gonna have to you're not gonna have to do these unrighteous things for Esau. Basically, to put yourself. Look at these clothes I got. Look at this car I got. Look at this. No, you're gonna be in perfect
And that's
order.
part of the good news, man. You know, is that our women won't have to go through that. You won't have to see Jake out there, you know, all pussyfied and pussy whipped, man. You know, over some box that's probably smelling like the fish market.
Well,
you know,
because first of all, anytime a woman gets planted, when a man plants a woman, guess what happens? She has the seeds from all these the different dudes.
Yep.
So all these relationships that she was in, she's actually fighting those other demons from before.
Yep.
And now you're like, cool. But then she got those 50 other dudes.
57.
No,
You're nigga
No,
number 58. Yeah.
No, this year.
Yeah.
You're nigga number 58.
Especially in California, man.
In the last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all those, every time a rod gets sent through that quiver, guess what happens? Now you got all those demons on you. So real quick, this is John 3:19. This is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. Okay, what is darkness? That's the confusion that we were just speaking about the woman. Okay, but that goes to this whole world, right? They're they don't want to be confounded. They don't want to be exposed for what their evil deeds. And the men of the Lord are going to want to repent for their sins and be sorrowful.
This is Isaiah 3:12, real quick, and it reads, "As for my people, children are their oppressors, Esau, Edom, and women rule over them. O my people, which lead thee, cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths."
Yep. Perfect. You know, to destroy the way of what the past. Anything with the woman, starting with what was that? Jennifer Steinman, when she came in, I think it was in the 50s or 60s. I think it was the 60s and 70s, right? Where she came in with that feminist movement, that ancient mama spirit. Okay.
And she was an agent.
Yep, and she was a CIA agent. It was even been exposed. Okay. And what did the Eve do? Joined right in with that. And what is you know, and when we're speaking about Eve, right? You have the Jake woman, right?
There's a picture of both of them throwing up the fist.
Yeah, exactly.
And that fist goes back to worship of Molech in Egypt.
Beautiful. And that's what it does. That's what it does. Feminist, that's what it does. It makes sacrifices to Molech.
Yep.
Because again, you're
And then
jeopardizing your faith.
What did that eventually lead to?
Yep.
Are women doing away with the men,
Yep.
and then a lot of them end up having abortions, sacrificing their children to Molech in modern day Egypt, man.
Yep.
You know, or having, and depending on the welfare system, letting
Yep.
you know, Esau, Edom, you know, program your child in the public school system, man, or letting the streets have their way with them, man. You know, and you know what happens. You know what's the end result of that?
Yep.
You know, death or prison, man.
Yep.
You know.
Right here, this is 2nd Ezra 5 and 7, and the Sodomism sea that shall cast out fish and make noise in the night, but shall have not known, but they shall all hear the voice thereof. Shall there be confusion also in many places, and they shall be often sent out again. The wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Okay, which goes into what? These GMO babies. Okay, why? Going into what? The water being poisoned, going into the food being poisoned, what the philosophy, thinking that being a white man is cool, or you know, being like the white man, you know, walking around with the bare-faced, butt-naked face, walking around carrying a suit. You have our people wearing those bow ties, you know, which is a bow tie is a symbolism of a heathen custom. Okay, which that whole thing
That's
is
the
about.
custom of the Edomites.
Yep, exactly.
You know. Also, the brother, the elder brother from Hawaii, Gabar Yahawada, you mentioned that T-shirt. The T-shirt came around in the 1800s.
Yep.
You know, so you have a lot of guys boasting in T-shirt fringes, but that's a heathen custom. T-shirts, you know what I'm saying? Those were made to be undergarments to go under your formal shirt, you know. And then underneath the T-shirt was the white beater. So you have 3 levels, you know.
Yep.
The white beater, the T-shirt, and then you have your dress-up shirt, and then you have your blazer, you know, as far as Western attire, you know. Those are all Western customs, man. But you have a lot of our people that worship that shit because they want to just be like their zaddy, E.
Yep.
You know,
So
big
they want to be worldly.
big zaddy E,
They want to merchandise the word.
or they want to be like big OGE, you know, big triple OGE, you know.
OGE. So this is John 3:20. For everyone that doeth evil, hate the light, and the light is the truth.
Yep.
Okay, you're going against what? Yahawashi. You're going against, and that makes you anti-Hamashiach. There is many anti-Hamashiachs. There's not just one. Okay, there's many. Anybody that's against this word is an anti-Hamashiach. Okay. For everyone that doeth evil, hate the light, neither come into the light, lest their deeds shall be reproved. Okay, and the word reprove what means exposed. Okay, you're going to be exposed for who you stand for. Going into what? This word, because this word is what, like a two-edged sword cutting asunder.
I want to get this before we pass the point. This is 1st Ezra 4 and 26, and it reads, Then answered he me and said, A second, there's just tripping. Slack it. This is 1 Ezra 4 and 26. Spot. Tripping. Come on, man. Come on, man. 1 Ezra 4 and 26. And it reads,
You got to stay to the right.
Yea, many have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. You know? And many have run out of wits. I'll just read it again real quick. 1 Ezra 4 and 26, and it reads, Yea, many have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. And that's what that Jake was that was passing by the camp, you know, bumping that Jodeci, man.
Yeah,
you know?
a simp.
A simp, man. You know, a sucker, man. You know, a sucker for love, man. Like Tupac said.
Yep, and also going into many have sinned for a woman. Okay, what happened with that Beetlejuice that came out a couple years ago? People were going down to what the Egyptian for help.
Yeah, because the woman said, "I ain't gonna give you no box."
Yep.
You know,
I'm gonna kick you out. You can't go to the family dinner.
Yeah.
You can't go to the family cookout.
I ain't cooking no pork chops tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no shrimp. Ain't no crab legs tonight. So, and then also goes into
Yeah, double phone.
Yeah, double. I mean,
Well,
oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
you know they be when a woman says
Well,
a woman says she had like 5, that means like 25 or probably 45.
For those that know, you know what I'm saying? This is 1 Ezra 4 and 28, and it reads, And now, do you not believe me? Is not the great king in his power, and not all regions fear to touch him? Yet I see him, and upon me, the king's concubine, the daughter of the Amiral Baractus. I'm going to read again from the top. I'm going to go a little slower. 1 Ezra 4 and 28. And now do you not believe me? Is not the great king in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him, and upon me, the king's concubine, the daughter of the Amiral Baractus, Bacardus, like it, Bardicus, like I'm going to read again from the top. Not the best reader sometimes. 1 Ezra 4 and 29. Yet did I see him, and upon me, the king's concubine, the daughter of the Amiral Bardicus, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown of the king's head, and sitting it on her own head, she also struck the king with her left hand.
That's what they do right now. Slap you across your head.
Yeah, nigga, you ain't shit.
Yeah, you out there reading that Bible.
Yeah.
Look at you with that Bible. You ain't shit.
Yep.
And that's a slapping the crown on your head, because having this truth is a crown on your head.
You want to get Revelation 3 and 11?
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yep. This is 1 Ezra 4 and 31. I'm gonna get right to the point. Yep. 1 Ezra 4 and 37, and it reads, Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, and wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, the children of the heathen nations, And such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their righteousness also they shall perish.
Yeah, because if you're not of the elect, you're gonna perish. Okay, if you're not of the elect of what slavery, of the remnant, you're not in the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Okay, they're gonna be dragged out of these bunkers, and they're gonna be put into subjection. Okay, they're gonna be put in fetters, irons, and chains. Okay, just like we were, but it's going to be in what? Righteousness. These are going to be what, it speaks about what Psalms 148 or 149, I think it is, yep. 149. Okay, they're going to be in feathers, irons, and chains. Okay,
it's going to be an honor to slap cuffs on these guys and arrest them, man.
Yep. It's
going to be an honor to dig these guys up out of their bunkers, and what other holes they dig themselves into. Isaiah, the second chapter, we're on the 21st verse. Amos 9 and 2, though they dig into hell, Jeremiah 16 and 16, Revelation 6 and 15, to dig them out of those holes in the rocks wherever they climb, man, and throw cuffs on them, arrest them, man. Yep. These are going to be the remnants that survive for slavery, man. So certain Edomites are going to be able to make it,
Yeah.
But it's only going to be these guys, and it's just for them to be slaves in the kingdom.
First crop of slaves. They're going to be digging up all the dead bodies. You know, that are going to be put on this earth.
Ezekiel
that are
39.
that are going to be destroyed.
Ezekiel 39
Okay.
talks about them burying the dead bodies for 7 years. You know,
Yep.
I refer to them as the elect of slavery.
Yep. Because it speaks about Amos 9, it speaks about that. What is it? Revelation, I'll get to this. Revelation 3, and we'll just start from 10. This is because thou hast kept thy word of my patience. Okay, this is Yahawashi speaking in red letter.
The word of my patience means you endured until the end. You know, you kept the word, you kept the doctrine in its entirety. You didn't switch up. You taught the real breakdown of the MOTB. You know, you've endured until the end. And this is a promise he made to the elect. Lord's will be of that number. Also, Revelation 2 and 10 is a promise to the elect. You know, when you get thrown in those concentration camps, man, if that's your lot, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to deliver you, man. You know, you can't fall and bitch up and get weak at that point, man. You know, I was doing a lesson on that last night. I messed up. I might have to do it again, Lord's will, tonight. If not tomorrow, I'll just do a 2-part series. You know, going into how Jeremiah was delivered out of situations of him having Israelites wanting to kill him. You know, Jeremiah 26, Jeremiah 37, he was thrown in prison. You know, our apostle and forefather Paul, you know, was also, you know, in the same situation. He bragged about that in the form of how much hell he was catching in 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter. You know, beaten with rods thrice. You know what I'm saying? In prison, the apostle Peter, in Acts the 12th chapter, he was freed out of prison by an angel, man. You know, and we're gonna have to go into those type of accounts more and more, because these type of things are gonna happen to us, man. You know, just for Yahweh Shem Yahshua to work a miracle, just for him to deliver you, man. You know.
And these scriptures, these stories that from
And,
our forefathers.
and if that's your lot, bro, if that's your lot, the Lord's gonna. We believe through the Spirit, the Lord's gonna not allow you to feel it, man. Wisdom of Solomon 3:1. Read that, man. You know, there shall no torment happen to them that fear Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Roughly paraphrasing, man.
Yep. These scriptures are written for our comfort. So those stories bring forth, you know, to have that mindset of the certain things that our forefathers went through, so we can be able to have.
And if you gotta go through that, what the fuck is here?
Yeah, there's nothing. I was just meditating.
What the fuck is here, man? Like, really? You really wanna live in weirdo land, man? You really wanna live in sicko land?
Yeah, because look at, it's not getting better. It's not, well, you know, they're gonna stop doing this, they're gonna stop doing that.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna. It says, what, the wickedness shall increase.
Yep.
Okay, till it all be fulfilled. 2nd Ezra 15. I want to go touch on a couple of things that we were speaking about real quick. When the Esau Edom's in the clefts of those rocks. This is Amos 9 and 2.
Yep.
Do thy dig into hell, then shall mine hand.
Start with 1, bro.
Okay, come. It says, and then they have this over in the, I think it's in Colorado. I forgot the exact name, but anyway, it's in Colorado.
I did a lesson on it. Yeah, it's a deep underground military bunker. They call them
Cheyenne?
dumps. Yep, Cheyenne. They have one in Cheyenne. I think the complex is called Cheyenne, but they have one in Colorado, and they have one in they have like 4 or 5 of them. I did a lesson on it.
I know in Colorado, right? Because I went to their airport. It's underground. Okay.
Denver.
Yeah.
Denver.
Or Denver. Yeah, beautiful.
Denver.
Yeah. I always get them mixed
But they
up.
have another one. They have another one in upstate Colorado. I want to say it's Boulder or something like that, called Cheyenne. I think it might be in
Cheyenne,
Wyoming.
that's what I'm talking
It might be in Wyoming. It's somewhere around there, or it's somewhere in the mountain time zone for sure, I believe.
Yep.
You know.
And they also have these dumps too. They have all these underground places. They can be able to drive from California to New York.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you ever just look it up on Google, they have these underground places. Where
And one of them goes like 5 or 6 stories down
yeah, kind
into the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you look it up, and then they have all these things already set up, and they're gonna save again. Because we were speaking about the heathens, they're gonna be in there too. Some of them are gonna be in there. Why? And also even some of Jake, because they're gonna use them as carpenters. They need slaves. You know, because they think they cooks. They think that they're gonna be going on. You know, and we read that Psalms.
They think they're gonna ride. They think they're gonna ride. They think they're gonna rise out of the ashes and
the Phoenix,
and reign.
which is nothing but a false philosophy. It says Amos 9 and 1. I saw Yahweh Shem Yahshua standing upon the altar, and he said, "Smite thy lintel of thy door, that thy posts may shake, and cut them in the head of all them." Sakim. Cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. And he that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth them shall not be delivered.
Yep, because the earth's gonna reel to and fro, and while the earth is reeling to and fro, those those wicked elite are going to be in the bunkers thinking that it's going to be all good in the hood, you know, after the shaking is over. But they have a pleasant surprise if we're of that number. We're digging them out of them joints, man, waiting for them, man.
Yep.
You know, and that's the elect, you know. I'll get Revelation 6 and 15 real quick.
Sirach 25 and 15. There is no head above the head of a serpent. There is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. So, you know, the low-level Edomites are going to get it too. But we're talking about the heads, the ones that are controlling everything.
Yep.
Okay, these elites. Okay, that's because that's where this word is going to. It's going to what the gates of the nobles, breaking down strongholds and breaking their economy down, or breaking their kingdom down from the inside, which is their economy, and on the outside is going to be with those hypersonic missiles and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai coming with those chariots and those lasers of fire.
I meant to get this a little earlier.
Sitting upon what that altar.
This is Isaiah 34.
Let me finish this. This is Amos 9 and 2. And though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them through. They climb up to heaven, thence when I bring them down. Okay, so also you have what Leviathan. Okay, that's going to be what? When they're in these submarines, or they're even when they're in the sky, the chariots are going to be taking them down. Okay, there's no hidden place. Deuteronomy 32, 32 and 39, which speaks about no hand shall be able to escape him when he wet his glittering sword. Okay,
Yep,
so
leading to 40 and 41. Yep, beautiful.
Yep.
This is Isaiah 34 and 4, and it reads, "And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll." And if you look at pictures of what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it describes, it'll give a visual of what this is describing. You know, when a nuclear missile head hits, it looks like a mushroom cloud, and that's what our forefather Isaiah seen. Isaiah 34 and 4, and it reads, "And all the house of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down." That word host goes into, you know, armies, you know. And the Hebrew word for host is tazabah, and adversary, as far as a host, would be tazarah. You know, that's a Hebrew word we can use for it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's right there.
Missile sign there, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so you know, you can kind of see a little bit. You can see you can kind of see the little, you know, the scroll as far as the mushroom cloud.
You just type in Nagasaki
Okay, good.
or Hiroshima, it'll show
Well,
on
yeah, what I was looking at was
Google Images.
real quick. I was looking at it's called the Cheyenne Mountain Complex.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
The Cheyenne Mountain
Yep,
Complex.
and
Where's it at?
That's in Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
Yep.
We had it right. Halfway,
yeah,
right?
got halfway.
Hey, just
I
want
knew
to
it was something like
make sure
that.
we're on point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You
Because
know?
I was like, yo, we just had the phone right there.
Yeah, it's
You know?
all good.
Yeah, yeah. So
Type in Hiroshima and then just go to images. It'll show.
Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Or just Hiroshima. That's because the biggest one happened in Hiroshima where the most people died. The Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Fat Man was dropped on, and then Nagasaki, I believe it was Skinny Boy.
Yep. And supposedly there was more than that. Also, Rambo was bringing it up.
Also, they were doing a whole bunch of testing in the Marshall Islands, which is in the area where Japheth lives at, you know, the Pacific Islands. And there's still a whole bunch of damage from when they were doing that nuclear testing over there in the Marshall Islands to this day.
Yeah. So going into that mushroom cloud.
Yep.
Right. Brothers can see that.
Isaiah 34 and 4, and it reads.
And that's real quick. That's what made all these other countries be afraid of Babylon the Great, of America.
Yep.
Because when they had those great miracles, and it speaks about that in
Revelation 13 to 14.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, Revelation. That's what made them afraid.
Does
because
miracles and make fire come down from heaven. I think it might be 13 to 13. It's right before where it talks about. You just get it real quick.
Yeah, I want to get it. Bring that out.
This is Isaiah 34 and 4. I think it's 13. And the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all the hosts of heaven shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the vine. I think it's 13 because it talks about how he does the miracles.
Yeah, and then it goes into Revelation 13
but
and 11.
13:13 says how he makes fire come down from heaven.
Yep.
Yep.
That whole chapter is fire.
Their host shall fall down, and the leaf falleth from their vine as the falling from a fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom, you know. And upon the people of my curse to judgment, the people of his curse to judgment, man. You know, and that's the so-called white man, beginning with their banking families, man. And they're going to be catching the judgment in the form of, they're going to be the first crops and the first fruits of slavery, man. You know, the elect of slavery, as I call them. Isaiah 34 and 5, and it reads, For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, is filled with blood. It is made with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, and is made with, it's like I'm going to start again from the top. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood, is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys and rams, for the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshai hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. That's talking about Babylon the Great, because Babylon the Great, America, is known as the modern day Basra. Basra was the capital of Esau Edom's territory that he had, which was south of southern Israel, and America is known as the modern day Basra, Idumea being the Greek way of saying Edom. And it's identifying the people of the Lord's curse to judgment, the Edomites.
And Edom means what? Red.
Yep.
Showing you that that's a mannerism of Esau Edom. I bring that out. This is Revelation 13 and 13.
Yep.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. Okay, he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, they should make an image of the beast. Okay, so that's the point that we're at. We were speaking about those great wonders, which Hiroshima and Nagasaki, far as what the hypersonic, they didn't have hypersonic missiles. Well, the missiles that they had, the technology.
Atomic missiles.
Missiles.
Nobody used them in warfare before that point.
Beautiful.
And that's why America and Babylon the Great, as far as Washington, D.C., is known as one of those unclean spirits, because for a long time after that, nobody wanted to fuck with America. They're like, nope. You're like, Friday when Craig, when Red got hit by Debo, and he, Red's father was like, Debo was like, you want some too? No. That's what everybody was like when America dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They didn't want no parts of it, man. For a long time. But now those other nations, they have hypersonic missiles as well, and the weak are saying, I'm strong too. Yep. These other smaller nations that are not known to be military forces are sticking their chest out because they got the big homies backing them up in the form of Russia, China, other countries as well. You got North Korea out there. It's like, yeah, what's up? You got Iran. They've been had beef with America because of what they're doing to their Towhead brothers, man.
You're leaving tomorrow for sure?
Yeah. I can't wait till the missiles get dropped, man.
Yeah, so Kim Jong-un, which is Rocket Man.
Yeah, Rocket Man.
You know what I mean? And then you have Xi Jinping, which is the Chinese president.
Yep.
Okay? And then you have Russia. Okay, and then Iran, you never know. You know they have something over there.
Yep.
And they're beefing with Israel. Okay? So, and all these people have consulted with what they're going with the BRICS nations.
Yep.
And that's coming up against what this war that rides upon the beast, these different NATO nations.
Real quick before the point switches up.
Well, real quick, let me get Jeremiah 50 and 23, because we were talking about that hammer, right? This is Jeremiah 50 and 23. I'll just get right to the point. How is the hammer of the whole earth?
Get 22 is a sound of battle.
Yeah, we'll go for 21. Go up against the land of Marathon. Okay, so Marathon means what? Double rebellion, and that's the place that we're in right now.
Yep.
Which Nimrod, which means rebellion. Okay, was the ancient
Nimrod was he built the Tower of Babel, and that word Babel means confusion, and that's what we live in the place of right now, a place of double confusion. Babylon the Great, Babylon the Great,
Yep.
Mystery
Exactly.
Babylon.
Yep.
What do you see in Babylon the Great? Just turn on the TV. You see the new rainbow flag with the new pink colors and the light blue colors, the black color and the brown. That stands for pedophilia and transsexuality, man.
Yep.
And what are they trying to do? They're trying to force it down your children's throat. What are they doing right now? I just seen a post that a brother shared on social media. There's two gay dudes, two gay lovers, and they got the mom holding the child pregnant for the two Duke shooters, man.
Man on man, yeah.
Like, his mom is pregnant with his baby for his husband.
Yeah.
Wickedness, man.
True.
Wickedness. But that's promoted in Babylon the Great. You have people cheering that shit on, man. Our people are completely lost in the sauce through times 102.
And then over here in what was it? Governor Newsom.
Yep.
Okay, he passed a law where you can
State bill, I want to say it's 245
What the sodomized?
Yeah, look it up. SB State Bill. I want to look it up. SB 245. I want to say it's the right one, but it might be the wrong number. Got a pretty good memory sometimes, but sometimes it's jacked up. SB 245. Just look it up. California.
SB.
Yep, SB 245. Let's see what it close up. California. Is that the one?
This one's I don't want to say the word, but
Is it
knock
allowed?
the baby off.
Oh, that's to knock the baby off.
Okay, yeah. So, well, basically, Gavin Newsom passed a law that was.
I want to say it's 240 something, but I'm not sure.
I can look it up. So let me read this first. This is Jeremiah.
It's something 45 though. I might be wrong.
I'll look it
I
up
may
right
be
now.
wrong.
Gavin Newsom passed law
Protect
protect.
pedophiles. I'll just say the word.
Sodomites.
It might be 145. But that's what he's doing in the bill.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Governor Newsom signs bill to protect sex offenders who have what?
Well, what's the state bill number?
I'm not sure. So let's see.
145.
145. That was close.
145.
Yeah, SB 145. Okay, to what? Lowers the penalty for adults who have sex with minors. Okay, and this is not getting any better. So those of you that have children out there and saying, hey, this is a good place to live, this is how your children are gonna have to live. Being taught by what? Transformers, having these legislations being passed, the SB 145 that Governor Gavin Newsom passed.
And that allows, if your child is 10 years old and he gets, I don't want to get the video taken down. He gets touched in an inappropriate way,
in a private area,
in an inappropriate way, or it gets sodomized by a 20-year-old.
Yep.
As long as it's consenting, quote unquote, then nothing can happen to that 20-year-old, man. If it's within 10 years. That's the type of sickness and wickedness and double rebellion we live in, man. You know?
Yeah, so it says the bill allows a 24-year-old to have sex with a 14-year-old and escape a felony conviction and requirement to be registered a sex offender. So he put it down to 14 years old. Okay,
Yep.
showing you that they're always trying to come after the children. This is the devil that we're speaking about, and it's not going to get any better. So if you're thinking that it's going to be all good, oh, well, in 10 years, Esau's going to change. No, he's the wicked.
And that's
Okay.
a common practice of the ancient Greek and Roman Empire called pedestry.
Okay.
You know,
And that's
which is where you get the root, which is the root word of where you get pedophilia from. It goes back to the Greeks and the Romans, which are the Edomites, who are still here. Nothing new under the sun. Because
that's-
what are they doing? They're doing the same shit all over again, man.
Just like that devil that would throw up the horns.
Yep.
Okay, or you know what I mean, the Baphomet or whatever that it was. That's what this place is. Marathon, okay, which means what? Double rebellion. Okay, which Nimrod means rebellion, and this is what it says: go up against Jeremiah 50 and 21. Go up against the land of Marathim, even against the inhabitants of Begod, waste and utterly destroy after them, said Yahweh Shemashai, and do according to all that have commanded thee. A sound of battle is in the land of great destruction.
Yep.
Okay,
And that
so
sound of battle is in the land. You had Russia threaten America yesterday morning. They threatened him yesterday. It was like, yeah, you know.
yeah, because Vladimir Putin, I heard him say, he said, because Pedo Joe was running his mouth, and he said, he's like, oh, and then Vladimir Putin was like, well, let us see. Okay, let's see if they can be able to battle us in the field. When they have hypersonic missiles, they have the Poseidon, which is what I want to say, it's a missile, a torpedo, there we go. Yeah, it's a torpedo that goes underwater, which creates a tsunami, and that tsunami can be able to, from anywhere, be able to be shot off, and that tsunami creates 100-foot waves that can destroy on the east coast or could destroy the west coast. And it says through the seminar, if it hits, it will destroy this place for up to 100 years. That there will be no, the water will be destroyed, and there will be no place to live here for 100 years. Okay, showing you that they have the hypersonic missiles also too, where they're not able to be tracked or traced. Okay, showing you that that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushai said, what he shall come as a thief in the night. You're not gonna be able to catch it. Okay, that's why the only thing is what, to come back to the Lord. That's the warning that the true men of the Lord, we're praying that we're of the hopeful elect, are going to be able to give you, okay, which is what, this is not a private interpretation, this is the scriptures. It says, Jeremiah 50 and 22, a sound of battle is in the land of great destruction. Where's that great destruction? Babylon the Great. This is going to be the #1 place that's going to be destroyed. This is going to be what a wasteland. It speaks about that. I think that's Isaiah 13, where the Medes are going to destroy this place. And it's going to be nothing but foul creatures and nothing but owls and dragon, basically lizards.
I'll get that for you.
Right?
This is Psalms 137 and 7, and it reads, "Remember, O Yahweh Bashem Yashai, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof." Going back into the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem, where eventually the city was burned and they burnt the temple. They were on the other side helping the Babylonians and burning the temple alongside them, saying erase it.
Which is the same thing they're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
By coming with their legislation, coming with their draconian measures. What is that? Daniel 7 and 25. They shall change laws and ordinances. That's what they're doing. They're changing their own Bill of Rights, their own constitution, to be able to ultimately come after the prophets.
And Daniel 8 and 25 happened in the Greek Empire, but they're trying to do it all over again.
Well, that's the policy.
Yeah.
See, Daniel 8 and 25 is the crafty policy, but Daniel 7 and 25 is
Daniel 7 and 25.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Come.
But he is correct on
Yeah.
that.
Just because Apostle Ramallah mentioned, when you mentioned Daniel 8:25, you want to mention that I was talking about the Greeks. It was already fulfilled, but you can relate that to what's happening now, and they're starting to do that, and they're starting to write those unrighteous decrees. They're starting to speak like a dragon, which we've been telling them through our apostles and elders for years that they're going to do it. Now it's happening. The MOTB is here. It's here, man. Yep. It's in your face. Amazon Palm Pay technology with facial recognition, biometric facial recognition technology, and biometric IDs. Central bank digital currencies that are tied to these central banks. They're eventually going to be switched over to an implantable device, man. Outlook India was talking about it, how these central bank digital currencies, they're eventually going to be switched out to, I brought that up in the group chat. You said, wow, that part. These implantable devices where they can track and monitor central bank digital currency transactions. It's all gradualism to lead towards the prophecy of prophecies, man. Well, one of the major prophecies, because the prophecy of prophecies, we're reading about that right now, is the destruction of America, which coincides with Yahushai's return. That's the prophecy of prophecies. But the major prophecy that's next to that is them looking to implant everybody, man, because that means we're really right at the door.
Well, that's the hour of temptation.
Yeah.
Revelation 3 and 10. We'll get back to that.
Because they have there's no ships, and getting up in the ships without them pushing the chip, man. That has to happen. That's a prophecy that has to happen, and it's starting to be more and more prevalent that our elders and apostles have had it right. And you other groups that aren't teaching it, we're not going to name you today. We'll play nice today. Normally I'll call you guys out and say you by name. Well, we'll keep it respectful today. We'll keep it cordial. You guys who aren't teaching it, you know who you are. You're going to have to give answer for that, man. And your followers are starting to ear hustle and ear shop Great Millstone and like-minded camps. Disclaimer, we're not in Great Millstone, but we teach the same doctrine to the best of our abilities. They're starting to ear hustle our teachers, man, and other like-minded camps who teach the same doctrine. Prophets in Babylon, group out there in Tampa, them brothers are on fire. You have the brothers out there in New York, who I learned from, Men of Valor, DTA.
Because it's all the testimony of Yahushai, which is to bring in the prophecy. And it also speaks about, when the disciples said, hey, who's that teaching in that name? When they said, that's okay for them to teach it.
Rebuke them not, roughly paraphrasing.
Rebuke them not. That's roughly paraphrasing. But it's showing you, and then, the apostles.
Because there were men who were given the understanding who weren't followers of, they weren't a part of the immediate 12, but they still believed in the doctrine.
Yep.
There weren't just 12. There weren't just 12. There weren't just 12 apostles. There weren't just 12 disciples. There were 70 others, man.
Yep.
It talks about that in the book of Luke, the 10th chapter, where it talks about even the devils are subject to thy name. The 70 came last. He says, I will give you power to tread on scorpions, serpents, and none of them shall hurt you. Roughly paraphrasing, but be happy that your names are written in heaven.
Because it's all about following Yahushai, following the Lamb wherever that goes, and it happens to be with the head apostles at Great Millstone and the men on down that are pushing forth the prophecy, and we believe that those are the men of the Lord, that they have the correct doctrine. Okay.
Through faith.
Through faith.
Yep.
Through faith, and this thing is all about faith. Okay, that's faith is the substance of the things hoped for, the evidence of the things not
And
seen.
who did Esau Edom say he was going to go after? Faith-based,
Faith.
you know what I'm saying? Organizations, man.
Yep.
You know?
Because again, there's a saying in the world too, when you don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything.
Okay.
And that's 2/3 of our people,
Yeah.
and also this whole world, because they don't stand for shit. They stand for everything that's an abomination, iniquity, and that's not going to be able to get you
I
saved.
got to get this because we brought this out last camp. Hebrews. Sakari's least favorite book.
Real quick, this is Daniel 7:25 because we were speaking about it. And it shall speak great words, and he shall speak great words against the Most High. Okay, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're speaking great words against the Most High, saying that their science is going to be able to overcome our Lord Yahweh Shai. That's going to be for them. That's their salvation. That's that land that they have.
Yep.
It says Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into the hand into the times, and the times of dividing the time. So again, going into also what they took away, daylight savings time.
Yep.
Okay, they took away. Now they're changing their constitution, their Bill of Rights, their amendments. Okay, they're changing all those to what? Be more draconian, but be more like what that great sword.
This is because you talked about us doing it in boldness, you know, as far as us doing the work, you know. This is and I'm talking about us as far as everybody that's sincere in this thing, you know. This is
the true men of the Lord that are laying their life, reasonable sacrifice, laying their life, standing upon this rock, coming with the correct doctrine, accepting rebuke, okay, and following what the Lamb wherever that he goes.
This
right?
is Hebrews 4:14, and it reads, "Seeing that we have a great high priest that is passed into the heavens, Yahweh Shai, the Son of the Most High, let us hold fast our profession." Did you get it? Revelation 3:11.
No,
we didn't get it.
No, we can go back to
Yep.
it because I'll finish it out right there.
Yep. For we have
We're
an
not
high
finished
priest
outline.
which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. So Yahweh Shai was able to conquer this flesh and death, you know, just so we can get the truth, just so we can eventually, Lord's will be of that number, receive immortality, you know, receive the new bodies, receive the crown upon our heads on crowning day, man. Lord's will we be of that number. This is Hebrews 4:16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. I'm gonna read it again. Hebrews 4:16. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. And we're gonna need all the help we can get, man, you know, in these times to come, you know. And he's not gonna help you if you don't have faith in him, man. You know, if you're calling on the wrong name, you know, you don't really believe in the doctrine like that, you know, I kind of believe he's not looking for that, man. You know, that's not going to cut it.
Yep. This is that word boldly, and the Google definition. It says, in confident and courageous way, showing the willingness to take risks. Okay, yeah. So again, they shall wear out the saints. It's a risk to be even out here on the highways and the byways. But the Lord, what does He do? That's Psalms 34:7. Okay, he that fear Yahweh Shai, the angels shall encamp around him. Okay, roughly paraphrasing, right?
There's no greater love than him that laid his life down for his friends.
I was thinking that earlier. That's the spirit.
You want to just get it, bro? You got the phone.
What is it?
No greater love, KJV.
Oh, okay, okay.
You just look it up like that.
Oh.
You don't have to, because sometimes the precepts, you can't find them in the Bible apps as quickly as you can with Googling them. Just, you know.
Say it again.
No greater love, and then just KJV. You should be able to find it. This is Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Yahweh Shai, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof, because they were on the other side of the Babylonians, and eventually they helped burn the temple. You know, First Ezra 4:45. It's also mentioned in 2 Chronicles, the 36th chapter. You know, right after, I'll just get it real quick, since I'm mentioning it. I was actually going to bring it up in the lesson, but hey, it's all good.
All right, bring it out again.
That's how you know. That's how you know it's wartime, because you smell it. You know what we smell.
Yeah, whenever we come out here, we always have to smell the tree. You know, just to start. You know what I mean?
That's how you know the battlefield is engaging.
Yep.
This is 2 Chronicles 36, and I'll get right to the point. And it reads, therefore, I'll get 16. Yep. but they mock the messengers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And this is right after it mentions them not wanting to hearken to the prophet Jeremiah. This is, yep. I'll get 2 Chronicles 36:11. Zedekiah was one and 20 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai his power, and humbled not himself before Jeremiah the prophet, speaking from the mouth of the Lord. But they mocked the messengers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and despised his words, and misused his prophets, until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people till there was no remedy. Therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldeans, Nebuchadnezzar, who slew their young men with a sword in the house of the sanctuary, had no compassion upon young man or maiden, old man, or him that stopped for age. He gave them all into his hand, all the vessels of the house of the Most High, great and small, and the treasures of the house of the Lord, and treasures of the king and his princes, and all he brought to Babylon. And that's talked about in the book of Daniel. And also they were drinking out of those vestures in Daniel the 5th chapter, and that's when that writing came on the wall.
Ezekiel 9 speaks about the slaying of,
Yep.
old, young.
Yep.
Everybody's gonna get their set judgment.
2 Chronicles 36:19. And they burnt the house of the Most High, and break down the wall of Jerusalem, and burnt all the places thereof with fire, and destroy all the goodly vessels thereof, and them that escaped from the sword, carried he away into Babylon, where they were servants to him and his sons until the reign of the kingdom of Persia. Let's go to 1 Ezra 4:45 real quick. 1 Ezra 4:45, just to bang the point home fully. 1 Ezra 4:45, and it reads, and to send away all the vessels that were taken out of the house of Jerusalem, which we just read in 2 Chronicles 36, which Cyrus set apart when he vowed to destroy Babylon, to send them again thither. They also have vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans, going into the Babylonians. Psalms 137:8, real quick. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Thou shalt serve.
Yeah, thou hast served us. What'd you serve us? A whole bunch of punishments, man. A whole bunch of hatred, man. Well, that's going to be recompensed to you, but in righteousness, man.
Yep.
Double cup. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. It's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation and then that trouble you, man. And you troubled us 3 times. The Greeks, the Romans, and the modern day Roman Empire. That for a time and the times again.
Yep. But you're not going to
Daniel
rise
7:25.
Again. Okay. The affliction shall be done a second time.
Yep, beautiful.
John,
I was thinking of that precept earlier.
Yeah,
Affliction shall not rise a second time.
This is John. I'm gonna jump back to 15. This is John 3:18. Let me read this real quick. He that believeth in me is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh. So those that don't believe in Yahawashi, they say Yahawashi is just a guy. Okay, they go straight to Yahweh. Worship me. We're gonna call on Christ. All those people are gonna what? They're gonna be condemned. Okay, in the time of judgment, unless they repent. This is John 15:13. Actually, I'm gonna go John 15:3. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine, and no man came except he abide in me.
Precepts.
I am the vine, you are the branches.
That's
He that
like we
abideth
just
in
been
me,
rolling.
I in him, and the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without you can do nothing. Okay, so you can't do nothing without this word. Okay, because the Lord is what that vine. Okay, going into also we were speaking about the temple, because they're trying to destroy what the temple. Okay, this is a spiritual temple right now, and he was speaking about with the physical temple that they did before. Okay, this is John 15:13. It says greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Who laid down their life? Yahawashi. What? In blood. That's why this is written in red.
Yep.
Okay, that's why this is written in red letter. Okay, because this is our Lord Yahawashi. What? Ransing.
Also, that's the currency that Yahushua is dealing with now.
Yeah,
when
blood.
it comes to the Edomites, man. Going back to the law, Numbers 35 and 33. For blood is defiled the land, and cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that shed it. Roughly paraphrasing. Yep. And who shed our blood? The Edomites. And who they come over here and shed the blood of first? The Northern Kingdom, our brothers. You know, the so-called native indigenous tribes. You know, I say so-called because that's not your nationality. Your nationality ranged from Zebulon down to Issachar. You know, Zebulon, Asher, Naphtali, Simeon, Manasseh, Gad, Rabban, Naphtali, you know, Yashashkar. Those are your nationalities, man. Yep. Those are your nationalities according to the Heavenly Father. Shamiwan, you know, Zabalawan, Aparium. That's the names in the Hebrew.
And we're coming back to the Hebrew, okay? Which the Hebrew has what it speaks about that in Sirach 1 in the Apocrypha.
Yep.
I think it's in the
the prologue of Sirach, for the same
prologue.
things uttered in the Hebrew and translated in another tongue have not the same force in them. The
Yep.
law, the prophets, so on and so forth.
And I want to bring that out because that goes into the name.
Yep.
Okay, we're going back to the Paleo Hebrew, the ancient
There's power
Hebrew.
in the name, man.
Yeah, there's power in the name, and it's not.
Also, if you go into that word name in the New Testament, it means his rank, his authority. You know,
Yep.
when you actually know the Heavenly Father's Son's rank and authority in the form of he's the only way you can get back to the Heavenly Father, and you have respect for it, then you know that's knowledge that not all of our people have. That's blessed knowledge, man.
That's the elect knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. Because what is it?
The Mysterion,
Yeah,
one of the mysteries.
Yep. That's Matthew 9:6. Because who has power to forgive sins? Only
Mysterion,
God or Shai.
one of the definitions of Mysterion in the Greek is the mysteries giving unto the immortals and not to ordinary mortals. Roughly paraphrasing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And we're not of this world. You know.
Lord's will we be of that number.
You know, this knowledge is not what of this world.
It says hidden from the ungodly,
Yeah.
but plain to the godly.
Yep.
I think that might be wisdom, Sophia, but either or they're
Now we're praying we're of
it's
the-
interchangeable.
Now we're
you know,
praying
because
we're of the hopeful elect, but you
the
also,
mysteries is the wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why it's a blessing to have these mysteries, because it's not given to everybody. It's only given to few. That's the, you know, what I'm trying to, you know, explain. I'm not saying I'm that. No, you have to be a meek and lowly spirit for the Lord to even sup with you. You can't come with a proud spirit.
I got something.
Esau is a proud vessel, and guess what? He's getting judged, and that's 2/3 of our people too. Even the people that are in Israel, okay, that are calling on the name, they're not even. You don't even know if they're part of it. Okay, so that's why we're praying we're of what the hopeful elect we put on as the elect, right?
This is Romans 11:7, and it reads, "What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded."
Beautiful. And if the Lord is supping when you go into that word sup, okay, Revelation 3:20, it goes into what being intimate. And if the Lord's being intimate intimate with you, okay, that means He's working on your mind to be able to push forth these epistles, be on the highways and the byways, okay, and be able to you know, when you're going through hardships, He's able to pull you up.
This
okay?
is Wisdom of Solomon 1:4, and it reads, "For unto a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit, and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteous cometh in."
Beautiful, because Matthew 6:22 speaks about this. As far as keeping that eye singular, if your eye is you know, engaged in this world, again, you're a double-minded man. Guess what? How dark shall it be? That means confusion.
Yep.
Because again, when you
How
start
dark is that darkness?
yeah, how dark? Yeah, roughly paraphrasing all those. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
That's
it's,
what I wish I said. Matthew 6 and I think 23.
yeah, because you can't
Yep.
worship. You can't worship.
24,
Yeah.
more right,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah, you can't worship Yahweh and Mammon, which Mammon goes into what? Riches.
Yep.
Okay, so the riches would be symbolic to the things in this world. You want to have, you know, let me get with this girl. Okay, let me get the best job. I want to go to college and things like that. Those are riches of this world, because this place is going to be destroyed. Only thing that you're gonna, you know, that you want is that spiritual cloak, that white robe. Okay, that white robe on you, because again, this place is going to get annihilated, especially Babylon.
Luke 16:12, and it reads, "If ye have not been faithful in that which is," I'm gonna get 11, and it reads, "If therefore ye have not been faithful in unrighteous mammon, who will commit your trust to true riches?" The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures.
True riches.
Yep. For we have this treasure in earthen vessels. You know.
I
The
got that 2
Corinthians
Corinthians 4 and
7. Yeah, yep. This is Luke 16:12, and it reads, "And if ye have not been faithful in that which is other man's, who shall give you that which is your own?" Luke 16:13, "Nor servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve the Most High and mammon.
Yep.
The scriptures say, where your heart is also, where your heart is, where you are, where your heart is also. Roughly paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because your heart goes.
Where your
into-
treasure is,
Yeah.
your heart will also be.
That's in that same. I think that same chapter.
Probably
It's
keep on reading.
I think it's 6:19. Well, it
16,
speaks
19.
about where you stack your treasures up in heaven,
Come.
where moth and rust won't be able to get at it.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, that's a little bit before that, 22.
Come.
But so this is 2 Corinthians 4. Yeah. So going back into the eye. Okay, the eye is the heart.
Oh, yeah, 'cause they got
Okay, the
flooded
heart
now,
is a
right?
lahab.
They move it.
Okay, so where your mind's at, that's where you're actually gonna be going. Okay, so whatever, like say you're playing basketball. Okay, just saying in a worldly sense, you're playing basketball. You're focused on basketball. You're watching the greats. You're practicing on your game. That's the same thing we should be doing for this word. Okay, you're reading. You know, you're practicing. I'm gonna bring out this precept. You know, through the Spirit, Lord willing. You know, I just studied this thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna, you know, and you know, it all goes through the Spirit. But the thing is, you're practicing. You're rehearsing the righteous acts. You're praying. And so when that time comes, when a hardship comes, the Lord can be able to comfort you through these scriptures. Because again, that going into that mysterion, going into what the understanding.
Repetition is the father of skill.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, just like, you know, Kobe and all the greats, you know, Michael, so on and so forth, they were gym rats. You know, Tiger Woods is constantly at the golf course.
Yep.
They were constantly doing what? Being occupied in the profession.
Yep.
You know, that's why I went to
Profession.
Hebrews.
Yeah,
Let us
yeah, yeah.
hold fast our profession.
Yep.
You know, because as we get closer to the end, you're gonna realize that all the hours you put in, all the videos you watch, all the studying, all the praying, all the fasting, is gonna be worth it, because you're gonna be that much more knowledgeable and that much more in a better position than just some Jake out there in the streets
Yeah.
coming into Jacob's trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all the persecution. You
Yep.
think the Lord, Hebrews 6 speaks about that. You think the Lord is what, unrighteous to forget your works in vain?
Because the Lord has a predestinated elect, but they're not just going to be sitting out there chilling. Oh, I'm predestined.
I got
Because
it.
it's a perfect honor system. The Lord created a perfect honor system because you don't know.
Yep.
You don't know. You don't. The only way you know is when you see the missiles coming. You see that light, and you hear it come up hither. You know.
Yep.
Proverbs 5 and 7. That word "come up" is "ilah" in the Hebrew,
Yep.
and that word means to go up, to be ascend, to be to cause to ascend, to be drawn into, to be taken up, to be lifted up into, going into being lifted up into the chariots. And it's also in the middle of the precept, and it's in capital, come up. And if you look into Revelation 11 and 12, it's written the same way, because it's going to be the Prince of Peace. It says it's better to be told, come up hither, and to be exalted, roughly paraphrasing, in the Prince whom thy eyes have seen. Because everybody's going to see Yahweh Shai when he cracks the sky. And it's going to be better to be told, come up hither from him, rather than be put at a low estate. You know, Proverbs 25 and 7, you read that precept, it says that in different wordage, you know, roughly paraphrasing it. But that word, the word and the phrase come up is ilah, which means to be basically called up into the chariots. And it's the same, ilah, I, la, then ha. It's three characters, ilah, ha. And if you look at it, it's Allah, but it's actually pronounced ilah because it has an I.
That's power.
Yeah, ilah. But I mean,
Yeah, that's
yeah, I
right.
mean, you're gonna be called up to the chariots to what? To receive power, man.
Power,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I was, you know. That's
But
what
that
I
Hebrew word for Proverbs 25 and 7 that's come up, I looked into the blue letter and I went to the Hebrew and looked it up. It's ilah, which means to be ascended up, to cause to ascend, you know, so on and so forth. But in Revelation 11 and 12, that phrase is written the same way, because it's going to be Yahweh Shai's ship you're going to be called into. Lord's will be of that number, man. And that's what we do all these videos for. You know, we don't do the videos and, you know, to come out here for, you know, vainglory and all that, man. We're doing it so Lord's will we be counted to be have our works be worthy of election.
Yeah, first it starts with fear.
Yeah.
You know?
Also fear. You know, because 1 Corinthians 9 and 16 says, you know, woe be unto me if I preach not the gospel. What did the Lord tell the men who went and hid the talent?
Yep.
There should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You know?
Yep. Those that made excuses.
Woe, thou wicked servant.
Yep.
You know, thou slothful servant.
Yep.
You know?
What did you do with the money? You know, which is this, you know, symbolic to this word. What did you do with the money? Did you go out there and try to invest in it? We're just saying this in a worldly sense. But
Yeah.
what did you do with the money? Did you go
Try to flip it.
Yeah,
You know?
did you try to flip it? Okay, I got 5 houses. I got I got this business, I got this, and this goes into your works, okay? Because the Lord is not unrighteous to forget your labors in vain.
Yeah,
He knows
because
that-
once again, the Lord has a predestinated elect, but they're not going to be just doing and lollygagging.
Yeah, first of all,
they're gonna have faith, works, acts, you know,
Yep.
because that's a part of putting on as the elect. You know, what was the example that was set forth as far as our apostles? You know, constantly occupied in the work of the Lord, man.
That's a perfect example because the elect are going to be what?
What was Yahushua doing? He was teaching every day, man.
Yep.
You know,
daily in the temple, right? This is second.
now we try to do that to our best of our abilities, but some brothers may not have that measure. But you want to build yourself up to that measure, you know.
Whatever your measure.
Whatever
is.
your measure is, man. You know.
That's the main. That's the
Main thing is
point.
putting forth effort. You know.
Yeah, trying. Okay, because when you're slothful in business, what happens? The boss has to
Fire you.
Yeah, he has to fire you. He
Yeah.
has to let you go. Hey, look, you
And-
know what you did. You know what you
Being
did.
being late, as we are in the game at this point where we see all the prophecies happening, you shouldn't be, you know, I can't come to camp, you know what I'm saying, or texting brothers, you know, like, oh man, you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
that's not the right spirit to be in, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Because also that spirit gets on other brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all go through different hardships in life. Shit happens. Okay. First of all, we're in the flesh. Okay. But when it's a constant, repetitive thing, okay, that becomes you're starting to engage.
It's a
more
cancer.
In the world. Yep.
It's a cancer.
Yep.
You know, and
Becomes
what does
that
cancer
sword.
do? Cancer grows.
Yeah, well, when you go into the word Revelation 16:2, it says a grievous sore.
Yep.
And a sore, when you go into the definition, goes into ulcer
Cancer.
or cancer. Yeah, and what happens? The cancer starts to spread. Then you go to Esau, you try to get the radiation, it keeps going.
Yep.
And it just never stops. Okay?
That weak spirit, or that spirit of unbelief, because that's just a spirit of unbelief, can hop on other brothers if you let that fester too long around the camp.
Yep.
You know, that's why the apostles and elders are constantly pushing forward, you know, to look out for that stuff, man.
Yep.
You know, and the brother from London made a good video about that. You know, this morning. You know, I may share that video. The brother
Yeah,
from
sure.
London, Universal, GMS Universal too. Brother does really good videos.
Yeah, I watched it.
You know, but he did a lesson on that, just saying that, you know, watch out, you know, for demons, man, because demons can hop on brothers. You know, the demon of laziness, the demon of doubt, the demon of I got a woman,
Yeah,
I got some land, I got a good job. You know, those are different demons that may. Yeah, but those are demons though. Those are
Yeah,
demons that the Lord was describing can
This
hop
is your
on brothers.
first job. These scriptures. This is your first job. This is how you're going to be able to eat bread and water when all hell is breaking loose.
Was it the book of
This is-
First Thessalonians 2, where the brother put in the comments, you don't work, you don't eat.
Oh yeah, 1 Thessalonians, I think it's 3:10.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, you don't work, you don't eat. It's the same thing as it is in Babylon.
Yeah. My servant shall eat. My servant shall eat.
Yep.
Those who are serving the Lord in fear and trembling. You know, those who didn't put down the plow. Those who really believe in the doctrine. You know,
Yep. So real quick.
those who stood stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahshai.
And what is stiffly? That means being persecuted for the truth. It speaks about that in Matthew 5. Blessed is he that is persecuted for my name's sake. Okay, so you're going to be persecuted. Woman, your job might not like you, and they might have to let you go, but the Lord is going to give you something else because you put Yahweh Shai first. Yahweh Shem Yahshai first, because that means that actually
The average Babylonian woman is trash. You know how many fine women are overseas, bro? In areas that are not going to get nuked.
Yep.
You know, just think about that, man.
And
You know,
they're
there's a
su-
lot of
they're
women.
submissive
There's
too.
a lot of women who are in areas way finer than Babylonian women, not as ran through, you know, and they're not going to get nuked, you know.
Yep.
That's our future property. Lord's will we be of that number, you know. Think about that. Think about how many, you know, Keishas out there that had 10, 11, 12 rods in them in the past 12 months, you know. You know.
Yep. That's-
Zainab over there in Morocco, she ain't doing all that, man. You know? Just think about that, man. Just something to think about. Just food for thought, you know?
Yep.
You know, women in Brazil and whatnot, man, you know?
Okay.
Women in Northern Africa, South Africa, man. I'll be on IG and some of them chicks be fine as hell. I'm like, damn. But I think about like those are a lot of those areas won't get nuked.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of those areas won't be nuked. And it's like, bro, Those are the type of women that we're gonna have in the kingdom. Lords, will we be of that number, man? They're sitting out there with no man too, for a reason.
Yep. Because they're gonna be all
Property of the elect, man. You know, Lords, will we be of that number? Average Babylonian woman is trash, man. You know, landfill. You know, for those who've been to a landfill, what does it smell like? Trash.
Yep. The cock carousel.
Yep.
Okay. So real quick, the 2 Corinthians 4 and 6. For Yahweh had commanded the light to shine out of the darkness. What is that light?
This truth.
Yep. What is the darkness? Confusion. That's Esau, Edom. That's these women that walking around, been ran through by, ran through more times than a tunnel.
I got that for you. This is Isaiah 61. Isaiah 61. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory from the Lord is risen upon thee.
Yeah, risen upon who? What? It's going to be the elect. Okay, that makes what have that shine upon our face, right? To have what that stand in great boldness.
Yeah,
okay?
when Moses came down from the mount,
Beautiful,
he was shining so hard that he had to pull a veil over his face, man.
Yep.
You know.
And that's how we want to be. You know, Lord willing, you know that we have that shine upon our face because the Lord is looking upon you. Because Cain, going back to Cain, Revelation 4 and 14, where it speaks about the light of Yahweh's face is not going to shine on Cain, okay? Because he's not going to have what the understanding, which means he has to walk in darkness and confusion.
2 Peter 1 and 19, and it reads, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto you do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. Until the perfect day, you know?
That day star, which is what Yahawashi. Right, this is 2 Thessalonians 3 and 10. For even when we are with you, this we commanded you, that if you any would not work, neither shall you eat. Okay, so you don't work, you don't eat. That's actually just in a worldly sense.
Yeah, in the worldly. They say that in the world. You know, you don't work, you don't eat, man.
Yep.
You know, no bread, no meat, no rice, no champagne. You know, Rico voice, paid in full. You know.
Yeah. 2 Corinthians 4 and 6. For Yahweh, who commanded the light to shine out of the darkness, had shine commanded. Okay, so he commanded that. That was an order. That was a decree, right? For Yahweh commanded the light to shine.
Hey, no video, man. Hey, don't take no pictures, no video of us, man. No pictures either, man. Do you go into Catholic church and do that? No. Just fuck out of here, man.
2 Corinthians 4 and 6. For Yahweh, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh in the face of Yahawashi HaMashiach. Yeah, so the hearts, which means what your mind, the hearts goes into what the
I ain't scared. It's a matter of respect.
Give the light of the knowledge of glory of Yahweh in the face of Yahawashi HaMashiach.
All right. So if I was to come to your house and start taking pictures of you in your window, you wouldn't freak out? You wouldn't freak out? I'm just saying, though.
So why don't you go take pictures of somebody else?
Yeah, go take pictures of somebody else, man. I'm just saying, though. That's disrespectful.
Everybody's in a public
So if
place.
I follow you to your car and start taking pictures of your license plate, you're not going to be offended, right? Fuck out of here. You're a fucking liar, man. Just keep on teaching.
2 Corinthians 4 and 7. But we have a treasure in earthly vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh and not of us.
It's free. Everybody should know about it. Everybody talks about it.
I know, but it's not for
free.
everyone.
It is for everyone.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Religion's for everyone.
I know, and you're in religion. Yeah, this is a heritage we're talking about. We're talking about a heritage. See? This is a heritage. Exactly, which is our heritage. We're not talking about a religion. What is religion? What's the definition?
Why don't you
No,
go?
what's the
Hey,
definition
I
of
got a
religion?
question for you. Why don't you go take pictures of them politicians down there passing laws to promote pedophilia? Why don't you go take pictures of that? Why don't you go to the Catholic Church and take pictures of them and ask them why they're teaching, why are they teaching lies? Why don't you go to the Christian church and take pictures of them? You don't, right?
I do.
Fuck out of here. You're a fucking liar, man.
No, I'm not. I never lied about it.
Oh, Esau, the father of lies. Let's keep on teaching.
Yep. Estranged from the womb, telling lies.
Yep. Let's
Yep.
get that.
That's how we know.
Psalms 53 and 1. Yeah. This is Psalms 53 and 1. And it reads, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. That's 58, Slakia. The wicked go astray from the womb. Yep.
I got one.
This is Psalms 58 and 3. And it reads, I'll get one. ye indeed speak unrighteous? Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Going into the heathen nations, with Esau, Edom is the head of the heathen nations, the wicked. Ye say in thy heart, ye say, it's like ye in heart, ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. Going back to that serpent from the garden, you know? And what was he doing? He was lying to Eve, saying that you shall not surely die. And what happened? Because of that lie, and Eve feeding Adam with the wicked philosophies in the form of eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, death was introduced into the world. And that was a part of the story, you know? But that serpent was a serpentine man. It wasn't an actual snake. That's going into the characteristics of a group of people, which are the so-called white people, known as the Edomites, you know? And that serpent came reincarnated in the form of Cain, who murdered his brother, the first murder. Cain, going back to the Hebrew word koyam, which means weapon, which is the blessing that he got when he came back in the reincarnation in the form of Esau. And the way we can identify him is when Cain came back, he lacked all of his pigment because he murdered his brother, and then he lied to the Lord, and he offered up a wicked sacrifice. You know? And that's who we can identify who the Edomites are today. The same characteristics: lying, cheating, murdering, stealing. And then when you call them out, they want to say, "Oh, I don't lie. I don't lie. Oh, that wasn't me. That was my forefathers." Well, you are your forefathers, and you're gonna have to pay for everything you did to our people, man. You know.
And when Eve ate off that tree,
to keep it real, this Edomite right here, you're just Goyim. You're just Goyim. You're just extra cattle. You're gonna be destroyed when the nuclear fire hits. These are the real people we're worried about. The people on this side. The people who are actually gonna be the first crops and the fruits of slavery. See, the average everyday Dr. Pepper drinking, Bud Light drinking, American Spirit smoking Edomite, you're just extra cattle and extra slavery in our kingdom. That's what you are if you're an Edomite. And from the characteristics that you're showing me, you show to be yourself and who you are, which is an Edomite. You know? And the Lord has a controversy with your people because of what you did to our people. The rape, robbery, and murder you did to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. And that's not a religion. That's our nationality. And so what? You're mad that we woke up, but it's the truth. And the truth is being put. It said at the end of times, in the end times, that truth will spring forth, and that the children of the Heavenly Father will wake up, and the hail and the rain will sweep away the refuge of lies. The act is up. The lie is up. You've been found out. You can't hide yourself anymore of who you are, and you can't hide from the report. All you can do is slander, take pictures, mock, scoff, but that's not gonna stop anything from as far as the judgment from coming, man.
Yep. Laugh and joke like everything's funny.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you see a nuke hit you, until your children are starving out in what's called Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation.
Yep, until there's a famine.
Because Jacob's trouble is not just Jacob's trouble; it's your trouble as well. Because if you're not one of these guys right here, as far as the wicked elite, you're going to be starved out too. Your people are going to be eating themselves too.
Cannibalism.
There's going to be such thing as race wars, and you're going to have the rich against the poor. As far as you're going to have your own people take arms against the government. They're already talking about it right now. It says 2/3 of Americans are wanting to take arms against their own government. The Lord prophesied about that. He says a kingdom divided cannot stand. And that's what we're sent out here to tell you, is that the act is up. The truth is out. The jig is up. You know, you've been found out. You know, the scriptures say, for I made Esau bare, and he shall not be able to hide himself. You know?
So real quick, this is John 10:10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that might have life, and that they may have it more abundantly.
And that thief that the Lord was talking about was the so-called white man. Because when he came over here, that's how we got this land, through rape, robbery, and murder, through deception. There's a such thing that was, there were things that were called treaties that the so-called Native Americans signed with the Congressional Army. And there were 500 treaties that your forefathers broke. Now, what do you think the punishment should be for that? Yeah, what do you think the punishment should be for that? Death? Okay, that's a good answer. But that's coming eventually to everybody that's outside the circle. And that's what we're sitting out here to tell. That's what we're sitting out here to tell everybody who's not a part of this circle is that death is coming for you, you know, and also not only death, but 1,000 years of captivity is coming to every single so-called white person. The Edomites, you know, if you're an Edomite, because you came off across as an Edomite, but hey, you never know. You know, we'll be fair about the situation. This is a spiritual thing because we have dudes who teach this gospel, who believe in this gospel, who are paler than you. But from your spirit and the way you came across like an Edomite. So I got to call a spade, you know? We'll keep on teaching though. We only got a few more minutes to camera.
Jeremiah 49 and 10. So,
we'll close on that right here.
Yeah, Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. So Esau is the so-called white man of this world,
Yep.
right? And again, this is a spiritual thing. So again, if your spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh Shema Shai, then maybe this could be for you. But the way mocking and scoffing, you would just be, even if you were, you would be a 2/3.
Taking pictures, lying about it, you know? Taking video, lying about it.
That's the mannerisms of Esau.
You know, I never lied, you know? I go down to the congressman
We
and
all
call them out
sin.
for their pedophilia.
So you saying you don't sin, right? You don't sin either? You don't lie, you don't sin,
You guys
huh?
don't know me.
All right.
No, you
Let's
just
keep
told
teaching
us.
though.
You just told us. So I asked you a question. I said, do you sin? Okay, so you don't
What
don't need salvation.
What is sin?
Sin?
Yeah.
Sin is something against
Huh?
God. Sin is something against God.
But there's a definition of it though. What exactly is sin?
So I'm trying to learn from you.
Okay. So sin is transgression of the law. Who is the law given to?
I was given from God to Israel.
No, it was given to the Israelites.
Israelites.
The Heavenly Father, whose real name is not God, but we'll get to that if we get to that. He gave the law to Moses to give to his people, and those people are the Israelites.
10 Commandments.
Yeah, the 10 Commandments, that was given only to the nation of Israel. So sin is transgression of the law. You know, 1 John 3 and 4. You know? And the law was only given unto his people. You know?
That's above all the nations.
Yeah. No.
So Jeremiah 49. So
Who was delivered out of ancient Egypt? What other nations besides the Israelites were delivered out of ancient Egypt? Who else was there? Pull up a book, chapter, and verse that says that.
Right here.
Okay,
So this
I
is
rest my
Esau
case.
being made bare. Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. He shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So going into their money supply is gone. Their housing is gone. The white supremacy is over with.
Yep.
Okay.
The jig is up. He said everybody, right?
Yep.
Egyptian
against
let's
Egyptian.
get a scripture real
Class
quick.
wars, civil wars. You're gonna have what these low-level Edomites that are gonna be fighting what against their the elites, right? As far as the governors, right?
Isaiah 40 and 15. Did you say this for everybody, right? Okay, let's bring out a scripture. Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. The beasts of the field, the heathen nations, you know. All nations before him are as nothing. They are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. Let's get another precept real quick. Amos 3 and 1.
I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
Yeah, get that.
If you want to keep going to the phone dash.
Let's keep on going to the phone dial. I got a little left.
I got the charger.
Little life left. You got the portable charger? If not, it's cool.
No, I do have it, but I don't have
It's all good.
for your phone.
It's all good, bro. This is Amos 3 and 1. This is the prophet Amos. And it reads, hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities, because the Israelites are the only ones that are under the curses. The only ones that can sin, the only ones that can, the only ones technically that can, the only ones that can
Real quick, and this backs
technically
it up.
transgress the Heavenly Father's
This is Deuteronomy.
only commandments.
This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. It's great that you brought that up. For thou art the holy people. What does holy mean? That means separate. Holy people unto Yahweh Shimei Shai. Thy power had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So above all people that are on the face of the earth, that chosen line.
This is
Right.
Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Has not dealt so with any other nation. So does that sound like it's for everybody? Because even out of Israel, out of the 12 tribes, right, there's only elect. There's only a remnant even out of that, because even 2/3 of our people got to get sacrificed over here.
And nothing changed in the New Testament. Let's go to Acts. Acts 12 and 20. Slack it. Let's go to Acts 2. And 22. And it reads, this is right after this is right after Pentecost, where all the Israelites from all different nations, because they dwelt in all nations, pursuing to the diaspora, Slakia, the scouting of the Israelites. You know, you can read about that in Hosea 8 and 8, Isaiah 11 and 11, you know, Deuteronomy 28 and 64, and other places of the scriptures. Baruch, the 2nd chapter. Hey,
6 and 56, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, come. This is Acts 2 and 22, and it reads, Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus, I'll just read it verbatim. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of the Most High among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which the Most High did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know. So he was only talking to the Israelites. Let's go to Acts 11 and 21.
I got you real quick. This is Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Keep therefore, actually 7, Deuteronomy 4 and 7. For what nation is there so great that had Yahweh so nigh unto them as Yahweh Shemashai is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that had statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? So again, who is the law given to? Moses, right?
This is
what Israelite.
Acts 11 and 18. When they heard these things, they held their peace and glorified the Most High, saying, Then the Most High also to the Gentiles granted repentance unto life. People see that word Gentile, not knowing its actual meaning. Gentile is Israelites who are in a Gentile state of mind because they were what's called Hellenized, going back to the time of the Maccabees, the Greek captivity, where under Antiochus Epiphanes, you weren't allowed to call yourself a Jew. You weren't allowed to circumcise your children under the penalty of death. They were burning incense in the altar to Zeus. You know, you were forced to keep the holiday, the heathen practice of Bacchus. Yep. And they were also messing with harlots in the temple. Basically, our people fell away from who they were. Acts 11 and 19. So they had to be brought back through the Apostle Peter and then later through the Apostle Paul. And that was his office, was to go to those Israelites who were scattered in, Pontus, Cappadocia, Pontus, Asia Minor, basically, Corinth, so on and so forth, Ephesus, Colossus.
Corinthians.
Yep. This is
Galatians.
Yep. This is Acts 11 and 19, and it reads, Now when they were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose, Stephen was stoned, travailed as far as Phoenix and Cyprus and Antioch. What were they doing? Preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only.
Yep.
That's what they preached to. And the Lord also told them to do that in Matthew the 10th chapter, but go unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It's also Matthew 15 and 25, I believe, Matthew 15 and 23, I believe. I am not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what the Lord said in his own words.
Well, Matthew 10 and 5 speaks about that.
Yeah.
Go to the lost sheep of Israel and tell them that the kingdom is at hand.
And preach, which means prophesy, and say unto them, the kingdom is at hand.
This is Exodus 24 and 12. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashai said unto Moses, Come
So
unto
this thing
me.
isn't for everybody. It's
Come
for
unto me.
it's for a set nation of people.
It says Exodus
And to
20
take it one step further, it's a set group of people within that nation. That's called the elect. That's who this thing is for. And it's not a religion, it's our nationality. It's our heritage. It's who we go back to. It's our bloodline.
Let's keep on. Bloodline.
Let's keep on. Let's wrap on up.
Exodus 24 and 12. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashai said unto Moses, Come to me in the mount to be there, and I will give thee tables of stone and law and commandments which I have written to they mayest teach them. So again, Moses was what? The Israelite from the tribe of what? The Levites.
Yep.
Okay? Which is what? Which is on the sign.
He was one of the sons of Aaron.
Yep. Which was given the law sets you commandments.
Slakia, Moses was a Levite. Slakia. The priests were the sons of Aaron. Moses' brother Aaron, eventually his sons became the Levites as far as the priesthood.
Yep.
Water
Yep.
allowed me to catch myself.
Yeah, because Moses, was a Levite.
And Salakia,
Yeah, because that's the Levitical priesthood. But now the Lord is raising up, priests and kings and priests, right? So we can end it actually.
Let's end it.
We can start at.
His phone's about to die.
Okay, got it.
Got anything else?
You bring it out. I'll start.
Yeah, so, Lord's will you found the camp session edifying. We'll close on out right here. But in closing, before we close, we'd like to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory unto our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the head apostles and elders, Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well with sound doctrine.
Shalom.
Unto the elders and the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect and the hearty shalom, to the sincere brethren laboring across the four winds of the earth, giving diligence to make their calling and election sure. Shalom. And until next time, next camp session, shalom, DTA, wa, abba, baba. Soon.
Kwam Yashala.
Shalom. Water for tuning in. Lord's will you're edified. Until next time, shalom.
God bless you, man. Shabbat Rakatah. Yeah, brother.
Just happy to be here, bro.
Yeah, happy. Yeah,
So is this like the say the Israelites, right? What are they called? The idol. It's up to people.
Hebrew Israelites.
So is this is a Hebrew religion?
That's exactly what it is. Hebrew Israelites.
So is
The
it
people that are in the Bible, the saints in the Bible.
saints? Yeah, and even the
The Heavenly Father's people.
yeah.